Hello. I hope we're here and we're live. How's everyone doing today? Let us know in
What
chat.
up? Happy
Uh,
Thursday, everybody. That means stream day, which is always fun. For
yeah.
us, anyway.
Let us know, as always, let us know volumes. We've got a new build today we're going to talk about. We're also going to announce our next collab. We won't drop it until next week, but we'll announce it today. And then we're just mostly going to chill and hang out. I'm going to try to pay a little more attention to chat today than I do usually. Usually Brian's the one doing it, but I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of your guys' comments and stuff. So I might do a little less playing, a little more conversing with you guys. So hope that's okay. But yeah, let's get started. I guess
do it.
I don't know. Should we wait for some more people to get here before we talk about the new build? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's have a quick hello, Joe. How's your week been so far this week?
Good. Yeah, it's been a good week, I think. Kind of a fun week in gameplay wise. We're working on more Crash stuff, but in general, I think it's been a good week. Felt a little slow when it came in terms of Patreon new members and kind of followers, and I don't know. Feels like this week was slower than most weeks, which was unfortunate, but otherwise, it's been a good week. How about you?
Yeah, it's been a good week. It has been kind of a chill week, though, generally speaking.
Yeah.
I think for the game and the project in general, and overall in general, cranked-wise, it's been relatively slow. I know that a lot of the work Maggie's doing is kind of approaching the home stretch, so she's kind of been keeping to herself and trying to get through that work, and everybody's been busy, but not a ton of communication this week, I would say, overall.
Yeah, there's a little bit of the new crash physics right there for you. I don't think I would have crashed in the last build, but I did just now. This week was a little slower too because Zach was doing the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Zach has been teaching some courses at university in Umeå, Sweden. So it's cool that he was able to teach some courses. I think, what was he doing it on again? He was doing on shaders, I believe. But I think he's done with that now. So he'll be spending a little more time on cranked moving forward. But he said it was fun to be able to teach some new courses and stuff, and I think the students probably like getting taught by someone who's still active game developer and making games, which is cool.
Hey, Joe, it looks like comments are turned off on TikTok. That's what it looks like to me, anyway. If I'm assuming
I'm seeing comments.
Place. You're seeing comments? Yeah, I'm in the wrong place.
Can you make a mod? Let me go.
Hold on, I'm working on it. I'll be all right. I'll find it on here. I was yeah, weird. I was okay. I got it up now. I think we're good.
Cool. Let me browse TikTok comments real quick.
What's up, TikTok folks?
Finalized no, these are all the graphics. I mean, this is a very early build, guys. We're a few months into this thing, so all these graphics on this map are placeholder. Let me boot up the other map. We've got the prototype map that's kind of older. These graphics are a little more done, but they're still nowhere close to the final thing, so graphics are going to change a lot. How much will the game cost? We don't know yet. It's too early to tell. Yes, we'll be adding third person in the future. Can you make a mode to build a bike trail? We'd love to make a mode to build a bike trail. We will have modding. We've talked about doing like a trail building mode, and that's the hope was that we can do that someday, but it really depends on how successful the game is and, how much money we have to develop it further in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But right now you can get it for $5 on Patreon. So that's the price now. It's $5 a month. For those $5, you get any build we release during the month. Lately, we've been releasing builds every Thursday. That it won't always be that way. We might skip some weeks, but if you were to join, today, you'll probably end up getting 3 or 4 builds throughout the course of the month. You get to keep those builds even if you cancel your subscription later. And you get a bunch of other stuff through the Patreon membership. If you end up spending $50 on Patreon throughout, the length of the time our Patreon is live, you'll get a free Steam code. So if you subscribe at the $5 a month thing for the next 10 months, then when the game comes out in a year and a half, you get a free version of it. So it's kind of a way you can pay slowly over time to get a game. But the final price of the game will probably be cheaper than $50 for sure. What else? Have you guys messed with RB mash bug yet? Yeah, that's all gone. So look here, RB does nothing now. And the Shrelp thing is based on the right stick. So if you go up and then down on the right stick, opposite of a bunny hop, it does the Shrelp thing. It's still a work in progress, but like right there, you can see me doing it. It actually feels really fun and it's cool. You can actually do it to like scrub too, which is interesting. But yeah, it's a work in progress. We're going to revisit it once third person's in, because I think it'll be better when you can see what the bike's doing. Since mostly shrupping is about looking cool and stylish. But yeah, so that's been changed. The bug is fixed. We can run down
I'm
all
glad
the
you're
changes.
answering questions, man, because I still can't see any comments on my TikTok side of things. I'm trying to get it kicking, but I don't know what's happening. I have the broadcast up, but there's just nothing in the comment section beside it.
That is weird. Are you sure it's the right broadcast?
Well,
Will it be on console? Yeah, we hope to do console after the PC version. We want to get the PC version squared away first, so console's probably like 2 years off. Will there be different bikes? Yes, there will be different bikes. Right now we're working on a downhill bike, but in the future we want to do an enduro bike, trail bike, hopefully a dirt jumper, maybe even a BMX bike someday. And then we want to get silly and have some fun bikes. Like I'd love to have a tandem mountain bike that you and your buddy can hop on at the same time and just do silly stuff on. So yeah, we'll have different bikes. Trying to play and read at the same time, which is a new skill that I'm learning. It's very complicated.
which is good. Yeah, because there's just seemingly nothing that I can do to actually see the comments on my TikTok screen. I do not know what's up. What's happening exactly? Everything. I mean, I've done this. This is the 7th time now. I've never had a problem before, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Weird. I'm gonna bounce over to YouTube because I've been ignoring YouTube.
I could actually do that too, but you do that while I try to sort this TikTok issue. See if I can get it kicking.
Why do I only have 4 tracks to play? Says Daniel. You don't. I mean, yeah, there's 2 maps. This map has 4 tracks.
You want to show how to choose between them?
Yeah. So if you just hit select where the settings are, you can go to map selection and choose the different map. The open world map also, I think, has 4 trails. So you have 8 trails that are raceable, and then there's another flow trail that's not raceable, so that'd be the 9th trail, and then there's 2 work in progress trails. So technically you've got like 9 and 2 halves of a trail. If you want to fast travel to a trail, you can select it on the leaderboard and hit A if you're on a Xbox controller, or X on a PlayStation controller, and then it'll bounce you right into the start gate like that.
Yeah, Tails, I've been refreshing. I've been opening it in different windows. Let me try a different browser. Well, that could work, I guess, but yeah, it's crazy. Of course, it happens right now when we go live, but oh well, I'll keep working and see if we can sort it out. And just do a quick roll call on YouTube. I see a whole ton of the daily crew there. Addy is back. Nice to see you. Tails, of course, is here. Guzior, what's up? DVZ91 is in the house. Brent Goes Fast is back, and Specs again. Danielle K. I just wanted to ask about the 4 tracks, which you just answered about. Harpy's here, as usual, and Squatch. Nice to see you guys. Adam Morgan is back as well. So, Chill Clinton, what's up? Did a little bit of live play with Chill the other night, which was fun. Scruffy, yeah. So that's the team. September. Hey, what's up? What's up, man? Cool.
This is Siggy Stardust, which is like everyone's favorite trail right now, including mine, by Antgrass. So we're going to run this for a little bit, try to get a new time on it. We changed up the last section to make it a little easier to hit this special fast line that some of us are hitting. So we'll see if we can throw a run together. It's very difficult though, and I usually get it like 1 out of every 10 attempts, so probably won't, but we'll try.
Joe, do you have any big plans this weekend, man?
Yeah, I'm actually driving to Phoenix to go see who I consider my brother. His band called Greeley Estates. They haven't played a show in 7 years. They're like I guess they'd consider themselves metalcore maybe. But they haven't played a show in 7 years, and they're coming back and doing like 1 reunion show. So Laura and I are going to drive to Phoenix and watch them this weekend.
Nice.
What about you?
I'm going to see the John Moreland play tonight here in Morgantown. I'm going to see a show at 123 tonight. This weekend, kind of chill, really. Not doing a whole ton, which is nice.
Nice. Braden just asked, are you able to fall in this game? Boom, you just saw me fall. There you go. And we're actually, this update that we released today is all about crash detection. So like before you could land sideways and you wouldn't crash. Now, as you see right there, you do crash. We've also kind of tweaked. Let me go over all the new build stuff. So today we released a new build. Let me pull up my notes so that I don't forget anything. Actually, I can't pull up my notes because it'll ruin the stream. So I'll just remember. We worked on crash detection, which is sideways stuff. So like I said, now you can land a little bit sideways. Like, let's see. There you go. So you can land a little sideways like that. You won't crash. But if you land like more sideways, well, I wasn't going fast enough there. You'll definitely crash now. Also, we tweaked how much you kind of slide if you land a little sideways. Before, if you landed sideways down a hill, you would kind of just endlessly slide down the hill until you corrected it. This is actually a fun gap right here. But now we changed it. Oh, am I going to make it? Yeah. Let me see if I can show you. Nope. That was a crash because I was too sideways. But now if you kind of land a little sideways and slide, it slides less and then it kind of grips. So we changed that. But what else is new? Man, I lost my marker. There's 2 new trails. I'll show you guys later. Well, we can go there now if you want. There's 2 work in progress trails from Antgrass. You kind of have to start at the top here and traverse this thing. We don't have fast travel there yet. It takes a little while to get there, so that's 2 other things that we've put in there. I will work on traveling there while I tell you about all the other new stuff. The Shroud thing, we talked about that a little bit earlier. There was a bug and the old Shroud mechanic was on right bumper and it made a thing you could like fly around and it was all buggy. So we changed that. We moved it to the right stick. It's now the opposite of a bunny hop. So bunny hop is down and then up, but now a Shroud would be up and then down. So it's kind of simulating unweighting the bike and then pushing down on the bike and weighting it and making the Shroud happen. Feels pretty good. We'll revisit it once we have 3rd-person camera in. But for now, it's good. We moved some markers on Siggy Stardust, which some of them were too close and people wanted more line options. This is going to get wild here. Yep. So we did that. We edited the end of the wood section on Siggy Stardust to make that one line better. Maybe that's all in today's build. I also uploaded a Linux build. So if you guys are wanting to try to load it up on a Steam Deck, it does work on a Steam Deck. It's a little bit of a pain to get it loaded up since it's not officially on Steam yet, which we will get it there at some point. But now you can, there's a Linux version if you want that. I think that's about it. We didn't get the Frameworks bike in yet. Maggie is still working on the Frameworks bike. The bike you see here is placeholder, as you can tell, because it looks horrible. So we will have like an official Frameworks replica bike in the game, hopefully next week sometime. Maggie thinks early next week, but we'll see what happens. She had some setbacks too, like her computer crashed and she lost some files, and it's been a journey, but we'll get there. We'll make sure it's right. So that's the update. I'm trying to find these trails. They're up here somewhere. But Brian, if you want to hit up chat while I find these.
Yeah, I just got it kicking. I just went to Safari. I don't know, for whatever reason, my Chrome will not load TikTok today, but we are in good shape now. The band name September was Greeley Estates that Joe was talking about.
Yeah, Greeley Estates.
Gonna kind of, what is it, Joe?
Yeah, Greeley Estates. Yep.
Greeley Estates, right? That's what I thought. Yeah, Tails could be a cookie thing. I'm not sure. Let's see if we have anything else on YouTube, and then TikTok. I'll head over this way and see if we have any questions to answer here. Any new shirts? Addy, do you mean when you ask if there are any new shirts, are you asking if we're doing another Cranked collab, or do you mean something other than that? If you mean Cranked collab, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We have lined up our second partner, and we will announce who that is this week. Chill Clinton says he thinks he needs a break. He can barely make it through the first rock garden on Siggy. Might be time for a break, a reset.
Is the trail right here that I'm looking for? I think it is. Sorry guys, I found this before the stream and placed a marker so that I wouldn't have to do this on the stream because it's boring finding this spot, and then it forgot my marker. So
we need a producer. Maybe one day if we maybe one of these days we'll have a producer.
Boom. Here we go. That'd be sick. Here's the 2 new work in progress trails. I'll run through both of them for you guys. Like I said, work in progress. These will change, but this one is going to be like a tight single track, kind of vibing like a, like a normal local trail you'd find, slower, tighter, just kind of cruising, having fun, which this is my kind of trail. A little bit of rocks here. So that's all we got for that one right now. Well, let me show you the flow trail. So Antgrass is working on a new flow trail. He didn't like the other one. He's probably going to redo that whole other one at some point. So working on this new one, which is definitely more flowy than the last one. The last one, we were talking, him and I, and we thought the jumps were too spread out and there's like too much downtime in between hits. So for this one, he's trying to make it a little more active. There's more going on, more things happening. I like it so far. A lot of hips, a lot of fun hips. Look at this big berm. This berm is just so fun to walk, to ride. Huge.
Joe, do you think Scruffy Roosevelt wants to know if you think Cranked will be deck verified when it goes on stream?
That's the goal. Yeah, the goal is deck verified. I really want this thing. I think it'll be a great deck game. Lost all my speed there. Let's try this whole trail again. We also would love it to be on Switch. I think if we can make it run good on Switch, it should be good to run on the deck.
Nice.
Right now it runs great on the deck. It's like locked in at 60 FPS. So right now it's good, but also the environment's pretty bare bones.
Adam asks if the framework spike next week are hard to say. We think so. We think so. Maggie thinks she'll be finished with it at the beginning of next week. So as long as nothing else happens, and she gets through it, then next week. I don't think we would wait. Do you think once it's ready, you'll just put it in the build and get it out, Joe? Or do you think you would?
Yeah.
How do you think you'll? Yeah.
Yeah. Once it's ready, it's going out. I don't see any reason to like hold on to it for something that's silly.
All right, let me hammer through TikTok a little bit because we have some stuff here, and I finally have it up and kicking. Guys, I did not have TikTok working on my computer until right now, so I'm seeing the comments for the first time, so forgive. Joe's trying to play and watch that while I was doing some tech support for myself here. But we're kicking now. Final graphics or temporary? We maybe answered that already, but these are completely temporary. As we talked about the framework spike that we'll add next week, hopefully, will really be kind of the first... This is what we're going for type of a thing that we do. On console, not yet, but hopefully eventually that we want to do that one day. We're kind of still in the early stages of development at this point. So not yet. Different bikes to choose from. Yeah, we don't think we will do bike setups. We don't want bikes that you can tune significantly. We really want level playing fields, and we don't want this game to be about trying to figure out your bike setup. We want the game to be about even competition. So we think we will have different bikes. Lots of customization, but probably not bike tuning.
I see someone saying, can you wheelie? So here you go. Let me just show off
you the wheelie. Nice.
The wheelies are super fun. We'll fix them up once third person's in to make them look better, but they feel really good. So you can manual or you can wheelie.
Eli Mountain Bike asks if we can make a mode to build. And my apologies if any of these were answered already, but I was trying to get my browser kicking, so that's why if I'm repeating anything. A mode to build your own bike trail. Modding is a pillar of the game. We will absolutely have modding, which will result in lots of cool trails. But also we hope to have a more accessible track builder, so people who don't quite have the technical skills to mod would also be able to build trails. That's a goal. It's not a part of the definite plan at this point like modding is, but we hope to have a good track builder eventually. And how much will it cost? We don't really know the cost yet. If anybody's new and is just learning about Cranked, we're a self-funded small indie developer. We're only about 5 months or so into the development of this game, so we're really far out from where this is going to be eventually. But we're doing this develop in public approach, so we're kind of showing all of our cards at all times. It's sort of one of the tenets of our approach, I guess you would say. So what you're seeing right now is it's all prototype, it's all placeholder graphics. The physics are what we're focusing on first. We want to get physics and gameplay right, and then we're moving on from there. And then we'll figure out what we're going to charge for the game, etc. later. But our goal is to always make sure we're delivering big value, and anything we ever ask anybody to spend on our game, they feel like it's fair, and we're delivering a lot for it. That's what we want to do.
A lot of people asking how much it costs. It's $5 on our Patreon right now, but it's just a prototype. So $5 on Patreon. We don't know final price yet because it's too far away from final release.
Yep. Isaac Aviation asks, when is Cranked coming to Steam? We're not sure when it'll be on Steam exactly. We are talking about a free demo that we think we would host on Steam eventually, just because we really want people to have an opportunity to see what this game is all about. It's easier to tell what we're trying to do when you play it than it is when you watch it, especially with all these placeholder graphics. So we do want to do some sort of a free demo, and that would be on Steam. And our Steam page went live this week, and you can wishlist this game right now. So if anybody's listening and would like to wishlist this over on Steam, that would be dope. You already did the can you fall in the game.
Yeah, and the one guy wanted wheelies, and then he said, that's a manual. It's like, dude, I know the difference between a manual and wheelie, but manuals look cooler. Here you go. Here's a wheelie. You can pedal too, but the pedaling's ghetto and wonky, and we need to fix it, so that's probably why I don't show wheelies as much. But yeah, you can do both. Don't worry. Game name's called Cranked.
Also, if you all are here and you're new, we do a thing called Cranked Collabs. We just started it a few weeks ago, where we collaborate with somebody, and could be almost anybody. It's generally going to be somebody who's in the mountain bike industry or mountain bike adjacent, usually. And we release in-game shirts that you can reserve for free just by kind of knowing about it and getting the code. We're going to announce the second collab. The first one was with a bike shop called Rad Dog Bikes, maybe 2 weeks ago. And then later this stream, we're going to announce who our second partnership is with. So if you're hanging out and you're interested in that kind of thing, we'll talk about it in a bit.
One thing we're actively working on is crash detection, like I talked about earlier, but you know, sometimes you might see me hitting rocks and roots and stuff where it looks like I should have crashed, but I didn't. That's all a work in progress. So we're working on making that system smarter and better at detecting when you should and shouldn't crash.
Jumbo wants to know why we were not at Gamescom. Good question, Jumbo, on TikTok. Joe and I have both been to Gamescom.
I never been.
Extraordinary. You've never been?
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Some crazy talk. I've been there a few times. It's in Cologne, Germany. It's the biggest gaming conference in the world. I think that's right. We weren't there because you have to mortgage your home in order to go to Gamescom anymore. I mean, the cost of lodging there, the cost of everything is so ridiculous, and we're so early in this project. And also, we're kind of taking a different approach. You know, we're focusing more on the mountain bike industry now than we are on the game industry. Gamescom's more of a gaming industry type thing, so we're not looking for money from anybody or looking for service providers or any of those things that typically happens at Gamescom. So we're not too worried about that right now. Maybe eventually we'll do that type of thing, but for now we're focusing more on this game and the mountain bike industry.
Got to figure out that crash. September, I see on YouTube, will modding be limited to trails or character design and bikes as well?
Good question.
Good question, yeah. Honestly, we don't know yet. It'll definitely be about trails and maps and all that, and physics. I want players to be able to make a map, like make a whole, you can make a whole map as big as this if you wanted to, and within there I want you to be able to tweak your own physics. So anyone who plays your map, if you wanted, you could have different physics within your map. Let's say you want to make a moon map, you want to change the physics, you could be able to do that. Bikes and gear we're unsure about just because of the deals we're making with some of our partners. Obviously we want to, like, we're partnering with Frameworks, for example, so we'll be offering a lot of official bikes and gears, which might limit what we allow in modding. Plus there's a lot of like legal things we need to work out and talk to lawyers and figure out how all that works. But the hope is that we can allow as much modding as possible, because I know it's what the community wants, and really we want to make this game as fun as possible. And if more modding makes more fun, then I'm all for it. So we just got to figure out the details. Yeah.
Huge thanks for the rose on TikTok. I don't know what your name is because I can't. Sometimes on TikTok we see this thing where you can't see the username, and Joe and I are old, so we don't really understand what that means. But thank you for sending us that sweet rose. Very nice of you. And yes, Tudro, it is going to be the Frameworks bike in the game. This obviously is the polar opposite of the Frameworks bike, the slop we have in the game right now. But when we get really the first official art in the game next week, hopefully it's going to be the Frameworks bike for sure.
Tobias texted me and said I was too bassy. Let me know, Tobias, if this is less bassy for you.
Too bassy. Hey, Tobias, what's up, man? Luca, what's up on TikTok? The price, we're not sure what it's going to be ultimately, but you can get the prototype that Joe's playing right now for as little as $5 on our Patreon. Will there be split screen? I don't think anybody has asked us that question from the world kept spinning.
Nah, we don't have any plans for like local multiplayer or anything like that. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but it's just not on the roadmap right now.
The Real Micro asked us for a console player, will it be on Game Pass or will you have to buy? We're really far from those types of decisions now. We're kind of just to everybody, and we appreciate the questions. I know so many of you are finding us for the first time, and it's great that you're curious enough to ask questions. So thank you for that. But we just don't know the answers to a lot of the details because we're building a prototype and we're really focusing on the basics right now. So as far as like what we're going to do, how much it's going to be, and all those details that don't have to do with core gameplay, in most cases we're not really going to know yet. We just haven't put energy into that yet. We're kind of taking an approach where we want to focus on the right thing at the right time and not bite off too much. And to us, gameplay and you know, something that actually runs on people's machines is super important to us. So that's kind of the thing. And trails. Those are the things we're focusing the most on at this point. You can play open world jumbo.
What?
Just ride around and have fun. Sometimes that's the most fun thing to do in this game, actually.
Yeah, look, I mean, you can spawn up here and you can just go wherever you want. So this map is our open world map. There's 2 maps in the prototype now. There's a prototype map and the open world map. This open world map will be like the first official map of the game, and you can see how massive it is. So here's like a good viewpoint. You can kind of look around. But yeah, this will have around, we're hoping for around 40 trails. You could see the trails off in the distance there. We've got a few on here already, about 4 or 5. So yeah, this will all be open world. There'll be bike lifts. The bottom of the mountain will have a bike shop. You can go in there to upgrade your kit. There will be, like I said, there'll be chairlifts. You can take the chairlifts up. In the beginning, only 1 chairlift will be unlocked, and you've got to kind of, you know, complete some goals and challenges in order to unlock more chairlifts. Look at this. You can just go flying down the mountain, free ride style. Like I said, we have to work on crash detection, but, you know, it's kind of fun to bomb hills like that. So yeah, a lot of stuff in the works. I'm gonna look at chat.
Theo, I see your question about PS5. We're at the PC prototype phase right now, but the goal was certainly to bring this to PS5, to bring it to console. That's what we want to do eventually. We're not even into the alpha phase of our PC version at this point. So, you know, 5 months into the development, 5 months ago, this game didn't exist. It's been that fast. So eventually we want. Also, we're getting the question, can you wheelie? I think you already answered that one. You certainly can. No twin turbos on the bikes, though, Harrison, unfortunately. We do not have that at this point. Mason, you can wheelie. Yep, for sure. It's fun, too. All right, I'm going to check out YouTube. But we had a pretty decent number of people here. We could jump into the Crank Collabs thing if you want, Joe. You think we're ready for that? Or should we do a...
No, go for it.
You want to do a run through of comments real quick before we do? I think maybe before we get into Crank Collabs, you should like finish your run and sit down and just do a quick pass on the comments so we don't have everybody sitting on wait forever, and then I'll talk about Crank Collabs.
All right.
So when you're ready, let me know. You can pause. Okay.
Yeah, I'll look over here.
Do a quick run through.
Nose manuals and nose bonks plan. Yeah, I'd love to have that stuff. I think it'll be easier to work on that once we have third person. So once third person's in, hopefully in a couple months, we'll start working on that. Sorry, but would implement a brake position where the rider stops even in a slope. I'm not sure what you mean. If you can clarify that. Guzyor, I don't know how to say your name. Will there be a community hub for modded maps? Yeah, we'll have a community hub in the game for modded maps. We'll make it easy for you to find mods, download mods, play mods. I don't want it to be like MX Bikes where you've got to like download and put stuff in folders. I hate that. When you should run into some copyright issues if someone mods a map, let's say Hardline. Yeah, that's what we need to look into. I got to talk to some lawyers and figure out exactly how modding can work, and we don't want to get in any legal trouble. Will Maggie be on future stream? Talk about the bike. We hope so, but we don't want to pressure her. You know, she's not as comfortable on stream as Brian and I are. So if she wants to join, she will. If she doesn't want to join, she won't. I'll leave it up to her.
We may figure out a way to make, you know, we will try to make her feel comfortable with it. It's just her personality. It's you know, I know she'd love to talk to you. If you ordered a party with her after hours at work, and number one, Maggie would always be there. She was always at every after work that we ever did in Sweden. And she's awesome, but she's just not super comfortable on camera.
I saw a question about how often do we ride bikes in real life. I used to ride a lot more than I do now. I used to race in the Midwest, mostly cross-country stuff. So I used to ride multiple days a week. Now, I don't know. I'm happy if I get out a couple days a month. I climb more than I ride. I still ride a decent amount. Ride BMX every now and then, go to the skate park and just pump bowls and have fun. But I've shattered my wrist. Actually, I broke both wrists about 5 years ago, downhill mountain biking. And since then, I don't ride as much. It's uncomfortable for my wrist. It hurts. Part of the reason I wanted to make Cranked, actually, was so that I could ride virtually and not have to worry about my body hurting now that I'm old and decrepit. So...
And my answer is I come from the motocross world. I don't even come from mountain biking. So I was with the Mad Skills motocross crew, if you guys know that game. And I've been a long-time motorcycle rider. But I'm going to hang out with Joe in El Paso here soon, and we're going to go mountain bike riding. I'm super excited about it. I will suck, I'm sure. But, you know, I ride a lot, so I should be, I don't know, decent for a beginner, I think. I'm excited to see how it goes. But I do love the sport. It's super fun to get to know a new sport that's so adjacent to one that I know so well. It's been a lot of fun for me. Can you make it cheap? Emmerich is seriously spamming our TikTok with that. He wants an answer. We will make this game a fair price, for sure. We're not going to make a free game. We're not going to make a game that we have to implement ads, microtransactions, or something else in there to try to make it to where your company can stay afloat. We kind of want to do the opposite of that. Look at that, Joe. Oh, thought you had it. We're not going to do that. So we're going to charge a fair price for a game so that we can provide the best possible game that we're capable of making at a fair price. And what our goal is that anybody who plays it's like, yeah, that was the easiest, most worth it any game I've ever paid for. That's what we want to go for. So we're not going to drop some stupid final cost on this thing in the end. We're going to figure out what we think is fair, and that's what the price will be. But I think we're going to have a free demo here pretty soon, so you can at least try it and see what you think, and that way you know kind of what you're in for, if it's for you or not.
Did you want to talk about the collabs? Are we kind of caught up on chat?
Yeah, I think so for the most part. Let me look.
Visceral asks if I play guitar. I've got 2 guitars back there. I play a little bit, but now that I'm focused on Cranked, I haven't had time to play much, honestly. I'm not good, but I try.
Maggie is very Swedish, Birdshaw. That is true. That is a good thing. But in this case, it just means she's quite reserved, like many Swedes are. Yeah, let's talk about Cranked Collab. So in case there's anybody here who doesn't know what we're talking about when we talk about Cranked Collabs, it's just this idea I had a while back that it would be fun to kind of figure out a way to reward, to create a fun, claimable thing that anybody who discovers us early can get for free. So what I came up with is a thing called Crank Collabs, and the gist of it is we partner with a different person each time we have a drop. And when we have a drop, we release an in-game version of a t-shirt. I think usually that t-shirt is going to be our version of a real-life t-shirt that's actually available in some way. Not always, but I think it oftentimes will be. It was the first week when we did Rad Dog Bikes. And the gist is, on these live streams, we will announce when we have one, and then a week later, we will actually drop what the shirt looks like. And for 72 hours, we will drop a claim code. And for 72 hours, all you have to do is take that claim code, go to the website we post everywhere, and post that claim code in. And you will then claim that shirt, reserve it. We don't have customization in the game yet. This game, we haven't done any graphics in the game yet, but we will. And basically what you're reserving with Crank Collabs is that when we add customization down the line, you will have these shirts. They're only available for the 3 days, the 72 hours that the window is open. I told Joe today in a call that even if he missed one, I wouldn't give him the shirt once that window closes. I'm serious about it. It's 72 hours, and that's the only way you can get the shirt. I think that's what makes it cool.
Well, the question is then, when I tested the first one, is my test count in there, or did you delete my test and I didn't?
No, of course it counted. I would have told you it didn't if it wouldn't have. There's no way I would have made you not get the first one. So of course it tested. Your test counted, and Aaron tested it for me. Hers is in there as well. So anybody who did a test for me early on, you guys registered for the first one. Anyway, today we are going to announce Cranked Collabs Shirt 002 with an all-new partner. And the partner that is coming that we went with for number 2 was suggested initially by Joey K, one of our OG players over on our Discord. And it is the band Space Mesa. And a lot of you guys, especially if you're hanging out with us on Discord, you already know what's up with Space Mesa, who they are, what their deal is. Kind of a super group, so to speak, of action sports type people. It was formed by Cam McCall. I'm guessing a lot of the people on this live stream right now know who Cam McCall is. Dusty Weigel. Some of you guys know who Dusty is too. And Josh Venti. And eventually this guy, Doug Jambor, joined with them as well. Basically, we have these action sports stars who all play music quite well. And they formed a band, and now they're just having fun playing under the name Space Mesa. And when Joey suggested this, I thought it was the perfect thing for the second collab that we were doing, because this is kind of what we want to do. We don't want these things to all be super obvious, where it's just like some huge brand every week and something that you see in all kinds of other games. We want to kind of curate it like a good playlist, basically. That's how I look at it. try to really kind of come up with cool things, cool partners that we can work with who are into it as well, and who are also doing things that are really cool and that they're really passionate about. Space Mesa is a perfect example. Just quick rundown of these guys. If you don't know who Cam McCall is, he's a legendary free ride mountain biker, super cool guy, multi-talented, multi-instrumentalist, really nice voice, a songwriter too, and he's just a really, really cool, legit old school guy. Dusty Weigel is with Nitro Circus. He does a lot of the Nitro Circus shows. He rides anything. You know, this guy comes from dirt bikes, but he has ridden everything. Maybe you've seen video of him doing massive gaps on a rocking horse. He's the world's only land boogie boarder. He's been trying to recruit additional boogie boarders on land, but he hasn't managed to find any yet. So Dusty's got this whole thing going on. And then there's Josh Venti, who's a track builder extraordinaire. He's done a lot of work with Red Bull. He actually helped to build the Red Bull Crossfire, the mountain bike section of the Red Bull Crossfire course from last year. Jason Baker, Joe, who did the Red Bull Straight Rhythm courses and a lot of pro motocross racers. He did the motocross element of that Crossfire course. So it's cool that Josh is a part of that. And then Doug Jambor, who's like a video guy, videographer, a real artist in this way. I watched his work this week, and he's fantastic. And he's also a good drummer. And they're all in the Pacific Northwest. They're all a part of the mountain biking community, and they just built this really cool band. So Space Mesa is the band. Next week, we will show you what the t-shirt looks like. That will be available for anybody. So make sure you check out the stream next week or a replay of it. And basically from the moment we announce the code next week, there will be 72 hours where you can claim the Space Mesa shirt. And that's the only time you'll ever be able to get it. That is the next drop, Space Mesa. And that whole crew of legit dominators. Joe and I talked to Cam and Dusty today. Joe, what'd you think of that conversation? You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, didn't know I was muted. Yeah, super cool guys. Glad we got to talk to them. I think their music's good too. We'll probably end up putting one of their songs in the game at some point. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I thought they were awesome. Those guys are so cool. They seemed to me like they were as pumped to be a part of this as we were pumped to be talking to them and have them a part of it. So that's the best. When everybody's getting into something and everybody's stoked about it is when it's the best.
Yeah.
Also, Dusty is married to Tara Geiger. If there's any motocross people here, you know, this Tara just crushes a dirt bike. She's so fast, super aggressive. I watched her in many races, and she was always really, really fast.
So Vega.
So that's the next one. That is the next one, guys. Space
Glad you're here,
Mesa. Dude. Yeah. What's up?
Oh, you know what? One other thing. Tobias said that I sounded still a little too bassy.
So I was wondering, does this sound better for you, Mr. Tobias? Maybe you like this better. I don't know.
I think you should leave that on for a little while. Josh Mart asks if we have thoughts on Mavericks. Yeah, you know, we talked to Matt a while back about a totally different project, maybe a year and a half ago or so, and he seemed like a really nice guy. He's really cool, and we didn't know that they were making a game, and they didn't know we were making a game. It all kind of happened at the same time. I don't know. It's just more games for a mountain bike community. You know, some people will like that one, I'm sure, and I think some people will like this one, and that's good for people who like these kinds of games. So I wish them luck. I haven't played it yet. I've watched Joe play it, but I don't have a machine that can run it. But Joe has played it, and I've watched, and I will play it when I can. Jossie, performance recommendations. I mean, I play this thing on a MacBook Pro. You know, this thing could basically run on a potato. So as it gets more graphics intensive, because these are all these placeholder, low weight placeholder graphics, as they get more intensive, we'll have more challenges to keep the system specs as low as possible. But that's important because we want to make a game that's accessible here. And part of accessibility is that actually you can play it on a reasonable number of machines. If you have to have a quantum computer to play it, then that doesn't fit the requirements for accessible to us. How do you join the Discord? I'm seeing that question. You'll find the link in the TikTok bio to our Discord, right, Joe? Did you put it in the TikTok bio?
I I don't remember. I think we're only showing Patreon links now because that's where we're trying to get people first. But you could discord.gg/cranked. Or
there you go.
I think that's all it is.
There you go. /cranked. Not cranked game, just cranked.
Pretty sure it's just cranked.
Okay.
If you Google Crank Discord, you probably should be able to find it too. It's a public Discord now, like a community Discord. It should be searchable. Or you can join the Patreon for free, and all the links are in the Patreon as well. I'm going to stop playing and just look at chat again, because I missed.
Okay.
There's actually not much that I missed. Maskell's MX looks so good, I'm bummed it isn't going to be a thing. You're talking about the PC version? Like when we were working on Maskell's Motocross Chasing the Dream?
Right. I think that's what he must be talking about.
Hodge is still working on... I mean, it's a new game now. We canceled that game, and he's working on a different game, but it's, going to be similar vibes, I think. So follow LCQ Studios and follow what he's doing, because there'll still be a kick-ass motocross game coming out from him. And who knows, man? Maybe in the future, we link up again and figure something out. You never know. What else? How much does it cost? It's not out yet. There's not a price. If you want to play the demo, you can join Patreon, and it's $5. What's the difference between this and Descenders? Honestly, it took a while for us to get that question.
It really did.
I was playing Descenders the other day because we get that question a lot, and I was trying to think of better responses for you guys. But the main thing that we've been telling people is the physics just feel completely different. You really need to feel cranked in order to understand that, and that's why we're trying to work on getting a free demo out so that we can just tell people who ask the difference, say, hey, look, download the demo and play it for yourself. So I'd say feels way different. It's not as slippery. You're in more control. It's more reactive. But as I was playing the other day, one thing I noticed playing Descenders that's a huge difference from Cranked is Descenders really about surviving. Like even their career mode, it's all life based. It's you run out of lives or crashes, you have to restart your career run, and it's about like the challenge of just getting to the bottom in one piece. And Cranked isn't like that. Cranked is about going faster and like working on race times and hitting the leaderboards. You have leaderboards in this game. You can see everyone on the leaderboards. You can pick who you want to race against, and that's who you're going to compare. But Cranked is more about, it's easy. Like if I just want to get down the mountain, I'll do this trail top to bottom, no problem. Watch, I'll do it right now. But it's not going to be a fast race run. Like it's not hard to get to the bottom, but what's hard to do is go fast getting to the bottom. So that's one of the big differences between Descenders and Cranked is kind of that whole thing. But yeah, they feel completely different. We'll have a totally different core loop. Our graphics are going to look different in the end. Right now they look similar because, we're both Unity mountain bike games. We're both, right now we're using a ton of Unity assets. I think a lot of, especially the modding stuff in Descenders, a lot of it's Unity assets. So they look similar right now. They won't in the end. They don't play similar. So I hope that answered your question. But yeah, we'll just show you that it's not hard to get to the bottom. I'll do it right here, but it won't be super fast.
Cameron asked what the motocross game is called. I'm not sure. We talked about a couple of them. Joe and I are both from the Mad Skills motocross team. If you guys know those mobile games, we're from that team. We were working with LCQ Studios on a game called Mad Skills Motocross Chasing the Dream for a while, but we couldn't get it off the ground because we couldn't get a publisher to help us with it. So that one kind of ended. But now Hodge, the guy from LCQ Studios, is making a different mountain bike game, but we don't know the name of it yet.
Motocross game.
What'd I say?
Mountain bike. Yeah, he hasn't released a name yet, but if you follow LCQ Studios on social media, you'll find footage of his game and stuff. And when he announces more, you'll be there.
Ethan, thank you for the follow. Thank you for anybody who's following us on here. We notice that we have a lot more activity anytime we do a live. So we really appreciate that you guys are interested enough to follow us and keep an eye on what we're doing here. Thank you.
See, normally I'm trying to fly through here to hit the fast line, but if you slow it down and just kind of hit it like a realistic style pace, it's not hard.
Jackson asked a question on TikTok that I haven't heard. I actually don't think I've heard anybody ask this question. I think it's a good one. Will you be able to switch between kilometers per hour and miles per hour?
Yes, absolutely. And actually, Zach was going to put that in sometime soon. Maybe he forgot, but I'll remind him. He said it's an easy thing.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Jackson, good question, man. Thank you for that one. That's a good one.
I'm in the U.S. too, so this kilometer thing is no bueno for me.
Hey, thanks for the rose. Appreciate it, Max MTB. Thank you very much for that. A couple of them, it looks like. Very nice. Thank you. I'm trying to figure out what that means exactly, but I think what it means is that you like something that we're doing. So thank you. Anytime you give somebody flowers, it's a good thing. Will there be climbing or only downhill, Joe? We have a question there for you.
It's a good question. What do you want, man? You want to see climbing in there? I personally think climbing in a video game is boring. Like, climbing in real life's kind of boring. I mean, sometimes tech climbing can be fun, but like, I just want to go down. Like, who enjoys the climb and the suffering, dude? I don't.
Cool. Yeah, it's not on console yet, TG. It's a prototype on PC at this point. We're about 5 months into development, but the goal is to get this game on console. That's what we want to go with. Not quite there yet, though.
Right into a tree.
Would you ever add a goggle overlay? Cruz is asking, Cruz Feely, would you ever add a goggle overlay in the first-person view?
Maybe.
I think it'd be...
I don't know. I mean, it kind of just disrupts your vision, I feel like. I mean, it might be more immersive, but...
Never considered that before, though.
Yeah.
Interesting idea.
Let me see a couple more things while the game reloads. The game is a peak. This game is a
Will there be
peak.
mods, Melody? Yes, there will be mods.
Would there be a dynamic view in first person? What do you mean by dynamic? There will be a bunch of more like first person camera settings, so you can kind of adjust, how much you want the camera to tilt or look into a turn and all kinds of different things.
Willie Norden asks if we'll be able to do tricks. I'll let you answer that one when you're ready, Joe.
Yeah, we hope. I mean, you can do some tricks now: flips, spins, whips, scrubs. I don't know if this is a big enough jump, barely. But proper tricks like bar spins and tail whips and stuff like that. Hopefully, we can do that in the future, and that's not in the roadmap now, since main focus right now is just kind of the core gameplay and racing, and you don't need to do tricks to race. So hopefully in the future, yeah, we've got an idea on how to do tricks really well. So we got to work on that later.
Everything that you can do in the game now, it's all physics-based. We don't have any kind of animations. Our feeling is that make the bike move the way you want it to move, and then let people bust fat whips with their own style the way they want to, based on how good they are at the game. So, are you playing through Unity right now, Joe?
No, this is the same build everyone else gets.
Okay.
Why?
Cool. Because I saw somebody mention it, Makai maybe. Somebody said they thought you were playing on Unity. I can't see who, but I'm just clearing it up.
Nah, this is the latest version.
5-star Bryson, thanks, man. He said game's sick. Appreciate it. If you haven't played it yet, you should really check it out. It is as cool as it can look. It's so much more fun to play. And I think the funnest thing about this game is just how quickly it becomes fun. Like, you don't have to work to have fun at this game. I've had people who don't play games at all but are into mountain bikes, or people who don't play games at all and aren't into mountain bikes, both play this game, and people generally tend to have fun with it right away. There's not a huge learning curve to feel like you're competent, but there's certainly a large learning curve to get fast. The skill depth is insane. I'm not sure the username, but says we should, green mark, says you should make it to where it's easier to case it. Otherwise, it looks fire. We're playing with the different crash settings. Actually, this new build that we're playing right now has some new crash settings in it. Hear ya. We've heard this before. We're trying to find the right balance of fun, and we don't want it to be too punishing, but we also want it to be realistic. So we'll find a balance there and do the best we can. One of the benefits of hanging out with us on our Discord is this is where people tell us this stuff, and we literally get into these discussions about these builds and talk about it. And if we hear something from our community en masse, that tends to be the thing that ends up in the game. So feel free to hang out with us on our Discord or our Patreon and talk to us about that stuff.
Yeah, I see there's a decent amount on TikTok right now. So if you're just joining, the game's called Cranked. We just started development about 4 or 5 months ago. So it's very early. We're developing this thing in the open together with you guys on our Patreon. It's $5 to get the latest build. We just dropped a new build today. So if you want to play this build, Mac, PC, or Linux, it's $5. The reason we're using Patreon is because we try to do the traditional route where you go, beg and plead a bunch of publishers to give you $1 million to make a video game. But they all said no. They said mountain biking's not cool enough for them. So that's why we're using Patreon. Hopefully you guys can help us, fund this game in conjunction with all the money we threw in from our own pockets. We kind of dipped into our savings accounts and trying to fund this thing ourselves and do this thing in an independent way. small team. So your support really matters to us, honestly, and it'll make a huge difference. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. But also, we want you guys' opinion. Like, we're already implemented a bunch of stuff the community suggested. If you join Patreon and our Discord, you can see our full roadmap. You can vote on things. You can give us suggestions that'll get pulled into the roadmap. Other people can vote on it. So we're really trying to listen to the community and make a game that you guys want just as much as a game that we want. And whoops, I just clipped that thing.
No doubt. Nick Page says, looks dope. Thanks, Nick. And thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate that big time. Can you do stoppies or anything, Joe?
Yeah, you can. Like, it's hard to do them now in first person. So in third person, we'll revisit a lot of this stuff and make it better once third person's in, because it'll be easier to kind of tune it and figure out what's going on wrong with it.
Yeah. JJ says, if we buy early, we should be able to get the alpha for free. Well, the way that it works actually is if you support our Patreon and you pledge a total of $50 over time, it could be the $5 monthly amount for 10 months, for instance. Once you hit that $50 threshold, you'll get a key for the game when it's released on Steam, the final game. So it is, I think it's what you're kind of saying it should be like. The alpha is part of the Patreon. So if you are subscribing to us on Patreon, when we get to alpha, you'll be getting those alpha builds.
These are pre-alpha builds you're getting, dude. You're getting, you know, pre-alpha builds right now if you join Patreon. And we typically drop a build every week or two. Like this month, I think we've been cranking them out fast. So if you join for a month for $5, you'll probably get 2 or 3 different updates. I think
this is 3 streams in a row where we got a new build right before the stream.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's every day, every Thursday for the last 3 weeks, there's been a new build.
What was I going to say? Forgot. Yeah. Oh, all the art's placeholder, the bike's placeholder. That's what I was going to say. The next big update will be the, here we go. I'll show it. I think I still have it loaded up here. There you go. Now you guys can see on stream. That's the Frameworks bike. So that'll be it's a work in progress. Obviously there's no cranks. There's like no rear shock. You know, there's things in here missing. It's a work in progress. But once that's done and Maggie's finished it, that'll be going in the game and replacing the placeholder bike that we have now. So that's what we're working on now. And then once the bike's in the game, she'll work on a character model. I saw someone ask whether it be a female character model. Yes, and actually the female character model is the first model we're going to work on. The one that's in the game now is placeholder and just a Unity asset. So we'll be working on the female character model first. Then we'll have a male and then the bike. And then once all that's in, that's when we can activate the third-person camera, start working on animations and like rider positions and animating suspension and all those fun things to make the game look a lot better. So that's kind of what's happening the next month to 3 months probably.
Bowen says kind of like MX bikes, but with mountain bikes. I mean, it does our heart good every time somebody says that. We've heard it a lot, and we have a lot of respect for that game. But this game's a lot more accessible than that game, that's for sure. You know, I know MX bikes takes a lot to learn and get good at it and get fast at it. And in this game, you'll sit down and you'll have fun right away. You will not feel like there's a big learning curve there. So JJ says, I wouldn't say pre-alpha is a good thing, not usually something people pay for. Well, we're really not doing this in a usual way. We've kind of been honest up front that the only way we can make this is if we self-fund it, and do it the way we really want is if we get some level of community support. So we decided to start a Patreon, and the feeling is it would only work if the demo was really good. And as it is right now, the people who hang out with us, by and large, almost 100% of the people, it seems like, give us good feedback on it. This game as it is right now, even in this early state, it is very easy to sit down and play hour after hour. And, you know, I know that's me talking and I'm biased, but I think a lot of the people who are in the chat would probably agree that this game, it's already worth having big time, even in this early stage. But I hear you. I understand. You're right. We're doing something a little bit unusual here, JJ. Cool.
Sorry, I was trying to look at something.
Adam, do we have an idea how tricks would be mapped to the controls? I don't know. Are you really?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about that yet, Joe?
Of course, I have all the ideas already. Yeah, though. I mean, I have ideas, but we need to test them, and then usually when you test things, you change them. But the plan in my head is that. How can I explain all this? Right bumper So the right stick is controlling like your jump and all that stuff, and I think the right stick will also control your tricks. But you have to, in order to do a trick, you would have to hold right bumper. So you would kind of do your jump and then hold right bumper and move the right stick around, and that will be doing tricks. And then if you want to, spins and flips are on the left stick, so you can combine, like a bar spin backflip by using left and right stick. And then there might also be some differences between one thing we've been talking about, like right now I'll go off trail, but like the whips, because the whip and the spin controls the same thing. Like if I want to spin, I just spin, and kind of whips are what whips are right now is you just kind of doing like a partial spin and then pulling it back. And that's not really kind of how whips are in real life. Like a spin and a whip motion are different things. So I think what we're going to do is differentiate a spin and a whip motion, and the way you would control those is with left bumper. So it'd be up to the player to decide, do they want the whip to be the default where you don't need to hold the left bumper, or do they want the spin to be the default? Anyway, whichever one isn't the default, you would have to hold the left bumper and then the left stick to do that. So maybe that was confusing, but left bumper and left stick, for example, would be like spins and flips, and then right bumper, right stick in combination would be tricks, and then left stick without left bumper would be scrubs and whips.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm just going to say thank you to JP for the follow. Very much appreciated. I saw a couple more follows in here. Leo, thank you. Jeff, thanks for subscribing to our Patreon. He says it's super fun, and appreciate that you're a part of that community with us, man, for sure. I like easier than MX Bikes Day says, I'm sold. That's Joe's thing with playing. Like, we have so much respect for it, but Joe just has to work so hard, which props. I mean, that's what they were going for, right? Like, if you're trying to make a sim, it makes sense that they've made something that's challenging, and it certainly adds a lot of depth to that game. But that's just kind of not what we're going for. But yeah, if you love that and you want a game that is that's very difficult just to kind of figure out the basics controls, probably not this one. But good luck going as fast as Tails.
Yeah, the basics in this game, I'll show you leaderboards in a second just as an example, but the basics of learning how to ride and just get down the mountain are not hard, but finding the fast lines, going fast, putting a full run together top to bottom without making a mistake, all that stuff's super hard. Like, look at this. I mean, I just fell off the skinny. Here, let me show you guys leaderboards. Just as an example, I've played Siggy Stardust the most. I've got probably 10 hours on this trail alone, and I'm sitting at a 203, and Suitin up there is a 157. So I've probably played the game more than anyone ever since I've been the one developing it and playing it before everyone else. So just to show you, as much as I've played it, I'm still 6 seconds off of a 2-minute run. So the skill gap is crazy. And if you look at the worst player, we're talking three minutes, but a lot of times in like the 320s, so to be 25 seconds off the lead, that just kind of gives you an idea of just how much skill gap is in this game. Yeah. I thought I'd be like one of the best players of this game for a while. And I think after we released the first Patreon version, I think Tails beat me within like an hour. So
yeah, but you still are one of the best. But and to let's see, where did I see it here? I saw on your own game, somebody said, even on your own game. Yeah, Liberate is like on your own game too, exactly. But that's the thing, like when you put these things out in the wild, man, we did Man Skills Motocross, if you guys know what that is. So we have some experience at knowing what it's like when people actually get a hold of your game and start to figure out these emerging riding techniques that you didn't even think about when you were designing it, and you need people playing it to do that. So but Joe's still fast. I mean, I think you're always going to be fast. When this thing's truly released, if we end up with a lot of players, it's going to be more challenging, Joe. You'll have some more
definitely competition. It'll be fun to see how long the top guys in our community now stay top guys too. Will they always be top guys, or will new people come in and have a new top guys?
Goose Faba wants to know where the DNF leaderboards are, because he would be killing them. Me too, brother. Me too, man. Yeah, the DNF leaderboard, if it's just a count of how many races I started but I didn't finish, I think I'm probably near the top of that one.
Welcome,
Nick Mitz, what's up, brother? Thinks Ziggy Stardust is by far the most fun trail. That seems to be what most people think. And sound effects, Joe.
Joe has passed away. We will be welcoming up into the gates of heaven. Alright, just kidding.
Sorry, I have too much fun with this voice changer thing I bought.
Yeah, I think you changed something that has me not seeing the stream and only seeing the. I think you did this once before, Joe, where you turned the stream off and then I didn't have the stream anymore. You changed something. I can't see the actual stream on my Discord anymore. FYI.
Then that's a you problem because I'm still showing that I'm streaming it.
Okay. All right, I got it.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good. I'm not seeing the overlays and all that stuff that I normally see, but I can see you playing.
Oh,
so
that's because I have. That's just. Thanks. That's because I had the
you go.
wrong. I had the wrong scene up.
Now, okay, it was actually everywhere. I see.
Yeah.
Cool,
so
got it.
even the stream was seeing the wrong.
Cool,
I had the leaderboard one up and forgot.
Sorry, Makai. We hid away your awesome work on this that you did for us. Plans to change the point of view camera. I'm going to acknowledge who asked the question. It's a good question. Eli, welcome. Hello. It's nice to see you here. Plans to change the camera. Third person is very important to us. We didn't want to mess with that until we got the physics right and until we get the bike looking right, because we don't want, the bike looks so jank that we have in the rider too. That they look so jank in this game. We didn't want to like shine a bright light on that because it doesn't look very good. So we wanted to kind of get the bike and the rider done first and then tackle third person. It's going to be a challenge. It's not something that we think we're going to like bust out and it's going to be good in a week. Nothing like that. Our one of our founding partners and a guy who made Mad Skills Motocross initially, Tobias, warned us, as did Zach, our developer, that's going to be tough to pull that off. So we're realistic about it, but we're also intent to do third person in this game and to do it well. Could take us some time to get it right. We're going to try.
I see a bunch of comments here that I want to address. So if you've left a comment, we're going to hit it up here quickly. How many maps are there? There's 2 maps. One has 4. I don't know. One is a prototype map, and then one is going to be this huge open world map with 40 trails ish in the end. There's about 4.5 trails on it now, but every month we add about 2 or 3 more trails. Did you guys do Mad Skills? Yes. My favorite mobile game ever. Thanks, Pipe King.
Thank you, brother.
We both worked on Mad Skills for over 10 years. What mechanics are you most looking forward to getting completed? I can't wait to have third person and just get a new bike and rider in there and like have things starting to look stylish and steezy, as the kids would say. So that's kind of what I think I'm most excited for. And then second thing would be multiplayer. Like I can't wait to be able to hop in here with Brian and other friends and just like ride together down the mountain. So I think that would be sick.
When you're ready, talk about that idea of how somebody like me could keep up with somebody like you. I love that idea. I don't want to interrupt your flow, but let's come back to that a little bit later. If you guys are interested in multiplayer, when Joe catches up on comments, let's talk about that a little bit, because I think he has a really cool idea. I couldn't stay on the track with Joe for a minute in this game. Hell, I couldn't stay on the track with you probably for 10 seconds in this game. But he has an idea that's going to kind of help make that work a little bit better. So we'll get to it in a bit.
How many camera angles? I don't know. I mean, right now we just have this one. But in the roadmap is plans for a bunch of other cameras. Obviously, there'll be a lot. We'll take a lot of inspiration from MX Bikes. I think they do camera settings well, so that's where we're going to start. And then after that, we'll get community's feedback and add more if necessary. There was another comment I wanted to address. It looks good. Physics similar to MX Bikes. I love it. Better than Mavericks by Matt Jones. Thank you. Appreciate that. Please make suspension work. Yeah, that'll happen once our bike model comes in, which is what we're working on. Here's the work in progress version of it. It's a Frameworks bike. The bike model we're using now is very limited and we can't like animate stuff and whatever. So working on that. There was someone else that had a good thing I wanted to talk about though.
That work in progress graphic of the Frameworks bike, we hope to be able to release the final first version next week. So if things go according to plan, we'll get that into the game next week and we'll talk about it and stream with it next week too.
Oh, the easiest trail in the game. That's what I wanted to answer. I can't say your name because it's 3 emojis, but I think the easiest trail in this map is probably Prancer. That's why I was going to run down Prancer for you. So there's that. I'm going to check over to YouTube real quick. YouTube, what do we got? Oh, you guys are just chatting with each other. Will it be possible to get off the bike to climb steep slopes? I don't know. We don't have that yet. I mean, I don't know if you should be climbing anything crazy steep. I think you just get to the top with a lift and go down. We've talked about other game modes like a cross-country race mode or something. So there might be some climbing stuff in the future. But right now we're working on the downhill portion of the game. So climbing's not really a priority for us.
Did you answer Mitz's question about tight lines?
Nope.
Tight trails? He just says, seems like many of the trails rely on full speed the entire time, almost any tighter style lines being made. That's a good question to answer.
Yeah, so if you've got the new build, there's 2 new trails that are work in progress. They're kind of hard to get to. I'll show you how to get to them now. Sorry, this will be a little boring, but it's a good time for us to talk about other stuff. At the main start place, take a hard left and try to stay as high as you can on this ridge and just follow this ridge a while. And eventually you'll get to 2 new trails, which in about 3 minutes we'll be there. And there's one in there that I told Cedric, Antgrass, if you know, from Descenders community. He's was a Descenders monitor, but he's working on for us now. He's working on 2 trails over there. One's a flow trail and one is like a tighter single track, slower, tight turns type of stuff. I kind of wanted it to be slower, more realistic, mellow, not crazy balls to the wall type riding. So that's what he's working on, and I'll go preview it once we get there. So eventually this map will be covered in trails, by the way. Go ahead.
Goose Fraba says, any plans for a current map location in the HUD?
Nothing immediate. Obviously, we're going to have a full map, and you'll be able to see where you are on the map and all that kind of stuff in the future, but we need to like get this map kind of built out before we can start working on that.
One of the things we did is we kind of like determined what our priorities are, and we decided to focus on those priorities and not really move too far past them until we feel like we got them where we want them. So a lot of the games we've worked on in the past, we would have this big roadmap with all these specific things we're going to try to do over time, and we're not taking that approach this time. We're taking a different approach. So a lot of the things that'll come later, we kind of think let's deal with that when we understand the reality of the state of the game when we get to that point, basically.
Sorry, guys.
Do we like Sam Solar 17 says, do you like Sam Tabor's, I don't know if I say Sam Tabor or Tabor, I'm not sure how he says his last name, video on this game? Yeah, I like him a lot. I think Sam is super cool. I think he's really positive. I think the world needs more positivity right now. I don't know him personally, but I mean, I've watched his stuff and I watched the videos he did on our game, and I just think they're great. I think he's awesome. You have anything to say about that, Joe?
Yeah, I've talked to him a bunch, actually. I think his music's really good, too. If you guys haven't listened to his music, definitely check it out.
It is good.
No, but I think he's great. I've watched his videos before he even covered us. Anytime I want like a video that I know I can watch, and at the end of it I'll feel good and be laughing, I put him on. He's always positive, always having a good time. So.
And Nathan, thanks for the follow. Fosh and somebody without a username, thank you all so much for the follows on TikTok. Frank and Jack, appreciate you guys very much for that. You know, speaking of good music, let's talk a little bit more about Space Mesa, who we announced earlier in the show as our partner for the next Cranked collabs. If you guys don't know Space Mesa's music, I encourage you to check it out. They've got some stuff on, you know, they've got 4 songs on Spotify, which I've listened to a lot ever since Joey initially mentioned this band to me. Really good stuff. It's got a little bit of a grunge sound to it in places, 90s feel to it. And it's a rock and roll band for sure. They're really good. They've got an Instagram, and they've got, of course, Cam McCall and Dusty Weigel, and these guys have, significant Instagram and YouTube profiles as well. So, if you guys aren't following those guys, they don't have a TikTok. I didn't see any of those guys on TikTok, so I don't think they've got a TikTok. But if you have Instagram, I encourage you to look for Space Mesa and give those guys a follow, because they're very cool, and they make good music.
So, Nick, here's the trail that is tighter. It's not like super fast. It's going to be more narrow. You got real tight turns. Like, you can't hit these things full speed, I don't think. I mean, Tails will be like, hold my beer. But that's all we have so far. Let me run it again. I think he only worked like 1 day on this so far, so it's very early.
Frank, yeah. Thanks, Frank, for the download, man. Appreciate it. Let us know if you play some during the stream, Frank. Let us know how it feels to you. Like, is it fun right away? That's kind of what I want to know. Or does it take a while until you get into it? Let me know what you think.
So
or do you just not like it at all?
This is me trying to go full speed on this thing. It's a little harder. Let me try one more time, and then I'll do the flow trail.
Cool. Sid and anybody else asking about console, we don't know. It's a prototype still. We're about 5 months in. It's PC only right now, or Mac. You can play it on PC, Mac. There's a way to play it on Steam Decks too. But consoles is a big part of the plan. We just need to kind of get through the PC version first.
It's actually a pretty fun trail to like go fast, but you'd never really get crazy fast speeds. So I'm hoping it stays that way, and it's just kind of that kind of flow throughout the whole thing. Let me show you the flow trail though. If you guys are new and you don't know, spins and flips are cool because, let me start over. And thanks to the community for this feedback. This was not our idea. This was the community's idea. But like if I flip and tuck into a flip, you flip faster. Like this is untucked. See how much slower it was than the first flip? So let me do that again. First flip, I'll tuck. Second flip, I won't tuck. Tucked.
Yeah.
Not tucked.
Yeah.
So much slower. And then now let me do spins. So first one, it's the opposite with spins. You want to pencil up. So you stand up, that's standing up, spinning, and this is not standing up. You can tell it's a, you know, not a massive difference, but it feels different, and it makes it fun because you can kind of like use that feature to kind of spin up or slow down. Like watch here, you can kind of slow it down, spin it up, speed it up. Yeah, super fun. So thanks to the community for recommending those ideas.
Have you done any landing in manuals,
There you
Joe? And then busting out, there's landing in a manual, and then busting out a wheelie scrub, kind of Mad Skills motocross style. That's kind of cool when you do that.
I could try it on here.
To our friend over on TikTok who mentioned loving Mad Skills, if you guys know our game, our mobile game, from the other company that Joe and I are a part of, Turborilla, you know how much restarting, how much trying to dial in a track it is. I mean, it's kind of what the game's all about. Like, the tracks can be challenging, and getting through them well is tough. You take time to learn the track, learn your lines, and perfect those lines. This game is very Mad Skillsy in that way. So if you know the Mad Skills games and you like that element of them, you will get that in this game for sure.
Yeah, this map will be huge. So that's huge. That's just the, you know, a portion of that trail. You can see how much further this map is. These little areas right here will be rivers at some point, and we will have water and water physics. And yes, you'll be able to ride in the water. If you touch water, you won't immediately die.
Throw a big whip when you get a chance. We have somebody asking to see what a whip looks like. Milo.
Ooh, I can throw a whip. We're gonna work on whip physics more. That was close. This will be a little lake right here, and this will be like where the bike shop and all the lifts are at this base. You know, right now it's placeholder, but this will be water, and you'll be able to take lifts up to all the different spots. But yeah, let me show you some whips.
Leo, Luscious, thank you guys so much for the follows here. Fluff, welcome.
The
Isaac,
whips.
Sandy Socks, thank you guys. Sunny Mountain Bike too, thank you guys so much. I love when someone follows us with MTB in their username too, because you're always like, yep, that guy. That guy might like this one.
The camera, we need more camera settings and some other animation stuff to make whips look even better, because I think separating the camera from the bike is one thing. Right now the camera and bike move together. But that's kind of how you do whips now. Is you just, I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's all free physics. So however you want to move the sticks is kind of what's going to happen. Some people like doing like stuff like this, which looks more almost like a tabletop kind of, you know, some people do stuff like that. You know, you can, so I don't know, it's just whatever you want. But once we get more camera settings in there, we will have an option to like decouple the bike and camera so that the camera stays looking at the landing and then the bike kind of moves under you like a real whip. Yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want. If you don't like the way it looks, it's probably because of me, not because of the game.
Tyler Hall Scoots wants to know if our suspension stanchion is actually compressed, Joe.
Right now, the suspension, like the visual suspension, doesn't compress or anything. There is physical suspension that is compressing in that, but visually it's not yet. It will be once we have the new bike, which is a work in progress. There's what the new bike is, the Frameworks downhill bike.
Nice.
But yeah, this bike model we're using it's not like robust enough for us to do a bunch of things that we want to do. So we're making our own model that's better and offers more opportunities. What do you think about different wheel sizes?
We think we will. Go ahead, Joe.
Scuffy was just asking, what do you think about different wheel sizes?
Oh.
I don't know. It's a good question, actually. I think we'll probably the plan is to have different styles of bikes, like downhill, cross country, or whatever, enduro, trail. And they'll probably all be within each category. They'll probably have the same size wheels. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we should do mullets or 29ers or what, or different bikes will have different things. We'll figure it out.
Asher asks, when do you plan on implementing the new bike model that we showcased last week that Joe just showed? We think it's going to be in the game next week. So I'll be surprised if we're not playing with that bike on the stream next week, but you know, you never know. Things can go wrong. If they do, we'll just tell you what happened, but we think it's going to be next week. Game name is Cranked. Getting that question a few times. It's called Cranked, and you can only get it on Patreon right now by following our Patreon. You can wish list Cranked on Steam. And if you guys have Steam accounts, please do consider wishlisting the game. But right now, if you want to play the same build Joe's playing right now, you need to support us on our Patreon, which is just patreon.com/cranked game, I think, Joe, on the Patreon URL.
I believe it is Cranked Game on Patreon.
Yeah. How much it will cost, we don't know. What it'll cost, Hunter, that's kind of in the future still, so we're not sure. We're just kind of committed to making it fair, you know, keeping it fair and not charging some ridiculous amount for it. So we want people to be stoked when this game comes out, and we want to stay in business, and we're going to try to find a balance of those two things.
Guys, don't try to shrelp when you're going that fast. It doesn't work well. So, just a pro tip for you. Let me show you guys the. It's hard to see, but we do have a little shrelp mechanic in the game. I'll do it right here on this thing. Boom. So we're tweaking.
That'll be
it
easier
still.
to see in third person, but
Yeah.
Leo, no cans or no knack-knacks or any other tricks like that at this point. So far, you can only really do things that you can do by controlling the physics of the bike, like whips, 360s, flips, forward and backward flips. But we don't have any kind of animations in the game, and we don't have the ability to do that type of trick yet. We're way too early in the development of this game to be thinking about tricks at this point. But we're interested in doing it later. We have an idea of how to do it well. Only want to do it if we do it well, and we have a pretty good idea how to do that if we can swing it, but we're not there yet.
I did see someone ask about 2 sticks. Yeah, you do use both sticks. So the left stick will spin and flip the rider. I'll try to show you guys both sticks here, what they do. If you're on YouTube stream, you can actually see what the sticks are doing. But left stick will spin and flip, so that's all left stick right there. And then obviously left stick would, you know, flip the rider like that. And then the right stick is kind of controls like your pumping and jumping, so down and up. It also, like, you can suck the bike up into in the air like this. So if you're going to case or whatever, you can move the bike around. And then the right stick left and right kind of tilts the bike like this. So that's very helpful for like watch, I'll show you right up here, jumping into this berm. So you can jump and then like angle the bike into the berm, so you're landing into the berm properly. And when you combine both sticks together is when you can do kind of all sorts of different things. You can do flat spins, you can do cash rolls, you can scrub, whip. Someone wanted to see scrubs. I need to go show off some scrubs at some point. These jumps are not great for scrubs, but yeah, you just kind of lay it down, something like that. See how much lower I went there? I didn't even get close to the landing.
The Amazing Kitty says, bro, this is just a remake of Descenders. It's definitely not just a remake of any other game. There's no mountain bike game that exists right now that plays like Crank does. We like Descenders and appreciate that game, but this is not it. We did not self-fund a video game to come out and make something exactly the same as some other monster in the industry that already is successful. Wouldn't be a very smart move on our part. You know, watching it on TikTok for 15 seconds or so might feel that way, but if you actually play the game, you'll see this is quite different than anything else on the market right now, and it will stay that way. This game will not be like another game when it is complete. It already is not like another game, I should say. Thank you for the follow, Rip. Appreciate that. PC only for now, but we will, or Mac at this point, actually. You can play PC or Mac, or there's a way you can play it on Steam Deck too now.
Yeah, we have a Linux
build.
build up, so if you have, you can play on Linux, or you can download the Linux build and put it on your Steam Deck.
Right. Cool. Yeah, no, we didn't copy another game at all. You know, and if you play it, you'll see it's a very, very different game. It's got placeholder graphics and stuff right now, so and it's a mountain bike game. But other than that, this doesn't play like Descenders, and I will not answer that one again for a while. I think, Joe. I think we'll leave that one alone.
Yeah. The other big, I mean, I brought this up before, and I'll mention it quickly, but the other big difference between Descenders and this is Descenders is about survival. Even the career mode, it's all life-based, procedurally generated. It's like, can you keep progressing and getting to the bottom of the hill without dying? That's the whole point of the game. Ours is not that way. It's not about just making it to the bottom without dying. It's about going fast and like honing in your lines and racing. With Descenders is not really about racing at all. I know they just added racing, but you can only play with friends. There's no global leaderboards. There's no like downhill style race mechanic. So very different game. The metagame's different. The way the game feels is different. The visuals will be different in the end. Right now, it's not super different because we're using placeholder Unity stuff. Yeah.
Poser Money, welcome, man. This is cool. Thank you for saying so. Appreciate it. We have seen Mavericks Dinosaur. Joe's played it. I've watched Joe play it. So yep, we have seen it. Is this VR? It's not, Eli, but we've had a lot of people talk about VR. We didn't come into this considering VR in any way, but so many people have mentioned it that, you know, I think it's something that we think, hey, if things work out, maybe one day we'll think more about that. But at this point, not yet. Lolan says we didn't copy any game. This game plays like a completely different game. And this is what we get from people who have actually played it. What tends to happen is people who haven't played it find us when we're streaming live on TikTok, and it's totally understandable. I mean, people didn't know we existed. They see what we're doing, and that's kind of the first feeling that they get. So I don't begrudge somebody for feeling that way. All I can say is if you actually played it, instead of kind of making a judgment after seeing it for a minute or so, you'll see this is a very different game than anything else. And we will have a free demo, hopefully sooner than later, at which point we're just going to say anytime somebody says that, play it, let us know what you think afterward. But also, I think here's something I'm thinking, Joe, that about this thing that we take every week, which is, it feels like Descenders is kind of up to us to understand that people are going to have a first impression of the game that we make, and we need to eventually get it into a state where the first impression isn't that this reminds them of something else. So I think that's when we start fixing the graphics of this game, is when we'll start to be able to develop what it actually looks like. So it's on us, really. We released the game early, and we're showing it at a time when the graphics aren't where they're going to be, understanding that some people are going to see that without actually trying it or watching the physics for an extended period of time and casting judgment. That's what's going to happen as a result of us doing what we're doing. So we need to be ready for it and patient with it when it happens, and hopefully get it looking better soon so when people see it, they don't feel that way.
Goose Fraba. I don't think Brian answered these. Any crazy mods like ludicrous speed or boost physics mods? Not yet, but I do have a plan for some fun. The other thing, like, we want this game to be like half about racing, half about exploration and just having fun and finding new secrets and Easter eggs and such. And one of those kind of Easter egg things I want to do that other games have done in the past, I think Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was one. I don't know, but I remember games in my childhood and you guys remember the Game Shark and cheat codes, and like you'd get the Game Shark, put it in, unlock all these badass cheat codes. I want to do that in here, and as you kind of progress through the game, you unlock new cheat codes. If you activate a cheat code, your times won't count on leaderboards and such, but I think it'd be cool to have like a mode you could make all the trees disappear, a god mode where you never crash, and you know, just a bunch of silly fun stuff that you could toggle on or off and just create new experiences. I think that something like that I think would be super fun.
Nice. It's not free at this point, John Wesley. You can support us on our Patreon, and you can get the prototype builds, all of them, for as little as $5 a month. If you subscribe for 1 month, you'll get any builds that we make over that month, and you keep them for good, the ones that you got during that month. It's not free. We want to do a free demo. Hope to do it relatively soon. Ultimately, the game's not going to be a free game, though, because the only way you can make a free game is if you make money some other way. Making video games is expensive, and the only way you can give it away for free is if you cream it with ads, or if you put microtransactions in and try to put people into a scenario where they need to spend money that way. And this is not the type of game that we want to make now. We've done that. We've done free-to-play games in the past, and I think we did it as well as we could do it. I'm proud of what we did with the Mad Skills games we made before. I think they're still great. And they do a good job of making a challenging, competitive game in a free-to-play landscape. Not easy to pull that off. We just don't want to do that. We want to make a game where every decision is this what's best for the game, and not worry about what hook are we going to put into the game to try to make some money so we can stay in business. So will not be a free game, ultimately.
I saw someone comment, and sorry I don't remember who, and I can't look because I'll die, about finally a game where like line choice matters, and I appreciate that comment, because
yes,
you know, that was a big part of like the design philosophy for this game, was making sure line choice matters, that tech works, single track works, like rocks and roots and all those little things. They need to be rideable, but they also need to affect you a little bit, and there needs to be, you know, line choice and all that. And I think it's already pretty solid, and line choice definitely matters. You should see, you know, for every trail in the game on Discord, we've got a channel where people discuss line choices for that trail. And you could, I mean, it's insane how detailed we all get discussing line choices, talking about, okay, you need to avoid this rock, hit this rock, don't land on this route, try to skip this route. Like, every little detail matters, and will affect your run, which is super fun. And we're learning things too as we go, because, you know, sometimes the community starts cheesing lines, and then we got to figure out ways to tweak tweak the physics to prevent it or whatever. So it's been a work in progress together with the community, but it's been tons of fun. And thank you guys all for helping us. Hey, Aaron, nice to see you back.
Aaron, what's up? I wondered. I was afraid we weren't. Aaron's been in every single stream so far, so I feel like it would be, I don't know. I feel like there'd be like a break in the space-time continuum in some way if Aaron weren't there. Your overlay just disappeared from the stream, by the way, again, Joe.
Yeah, I wanted to show off the settings. Someone was asking about speed and FOVs, and I just wanted to show what my settings are at in case you guys are curious. This is what I'm running. These are all the settings we have in the game now. We'll be adding more settings as things go. We did add a new thing last week called this in-air rotation assist. So if you're newer and you want help with kind of leveling the bike out in air, you could click that on, and if you let go of the sticks, it'll kind of automatically level you for landing. Yeah, this is what I run. I like my FOV at 120. Berm snapping, leave it around 0.5. You don't really need to mess with that. This setting will get removed. We were doing it as some testing stuff in the past. But yeah, anyway, those are my settings. We do have leaderboards too in the game, everyone. So if you click on a name, that'll change who your time, like your split times are against. I like to race against myself. But look at the skill gap here. I got a 113 and Jill Clinton's got a 108.
Jill Clinton is stupid fast. And Leon's flying. We have so many fast people on this team. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. I saw a couple questions I wanted to ask. Yo, what's up, Max? Welcome. What is the game? It's cranked. We do plan on bringing it to console, Aaron. Yes, we do. You can play this game right now for $5 a month. By supporting us on Patreon. You get all the builds that we do over the course of a month for $5, and you get to keep those builds forever. If you accumulate a total spend on our Patreon of $50 over time, you will get a key for the game when we release the final version of it. And CTK Patrick likes the thing that has always been my favorite thing about this game and any good action sports game, and that is likes the feel of weight and appearance of speed and weight transfers. Agree. I think when a game feels like you can actually see the weight, an action sports game, maybe all games, but action sports definitely, when you can feel the weight of whatever you're riding, it just makes it feel so much better. I think Mad Skills Motocross was always good in that way too, so I agree with you. And I'm glad that you appreciate that. LLS and Evan, LLS, thank you for the follow, appreciate that. And Dylan too, appreciate it. Prez, you said this a couple times and I didn't mean to miss you, and I hope that you're still with me because I wanted to answer your question. You said, you do game development at college. What would we suggest you do after? My suggestion is don't wait and hang out on Discord with us, because you've got Joe, who's one of the most capable game designers I've ever worked with, working in public, talking about every decision he makes, why he does what he does, asking questions, taking feedback in. If you're a game designer, you're interested in making games, hanging out on our Discord is like it's almost like being part, it is being a part of the development of a game. So I think you'd learn a lot that way. So that's my suggestion for the time being. Hang out there, you'll network, you'll get to know some people. And then when you graduate, you'll have been a part of a game, and you'll know some people in the industry, and you can figure out what you want to do next. That's my advice.
No, God, please, no.
That's what happens when you scrub too much. You die.
You got this? This looks AI. We haven't done any. None of the art or any of that stuff is AI in this game, so I'm not sure why that's the case. It's all, maybe the reason you say that is because this is all placeholder graphics that come from Unity, so maybe that's why you feel like it looks AI. But there will be no AI used in the creation of art in this game. We don't do that. So we have an artist on our team who does the stuff and is currently working on the first real art that will go in the game. If you all want to see it when Joe has a break, he can show you that frame march bike again, which we will drop next week, I think, into a build, I hope.
I think we probably do. Those of you who are playing, this is probably more for the YouTube followers, but those of you who are playing and have played the new build we dropped today, do you guys think we need to do a leaderboard reset? I feel like things are slower. I missed that gate. I mean, I'm having trouble matching any of my times on any of the trails, so I think we probably should do a leaderboard reset, but I'd love to know what you guys think.
Talking to the crew, mostly probably over on YouTube. I know this isn't always the case, but generally speaking, the crew hanging out with us on the YouTube side of things are the people we're hanging out with on Discord on a daily basis. And they would all tell you we're over there on Discord every day. We're super active in this community. If we miss your comments here, sometimes it's just because there's a lot going on, but we don't miss people's comments on Discord. So if you have something to say and you don't get our attention here, please just join us over there and and you can count on us answering your question. But anyway, on that side of things, they're talking about established things in the game development because they've been a part of this for a long time. And on the TikTok side of things, we have people who are seeing this for the first time. It's always interesting to me to see these two groups of people hanging out in the same place. Appreciate both. Thank you, everybody on TikTok, for stopping by and watching what we're doing for a little while. This track's fun.
Yeah, it is. This is probably the other easiest track in the game. The guy who was asking earlier, Prancer's probably the easiest. This one maybe second easiest. The jumps at the end of this are kind of hard.
Because of those jumps. This is one of the best jumps in the game right there, though. That little catapult jump, basically. I love it. I thought Ant Grass just did some badass work right there.
Oh, I pushed through and pushed a little too hard. All right, let's do a new trail. You guys can see something new here. Anything in chat I need to hit up?
Well, let's ask everybody how they're feeling, if they've been playing enough, if they think we need a leaderboard reset. I think we're getting some comments about that already.
Captain Jack said, yeah, I think. Tail says, I don't know if it's slower, to be honest. Maybe a good idea, too, from Found Harpy. Connor says, agree with the reset. Yeah,
Ethan
and
Teague,
also,
thank you for the follows.
Lars says people were abusing the in-air Shrelp thing. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah. That is a good point. Welcome back, Lars. I saw you duck in here a little bit ago, by the way, and I meant to say something, but...
The trails did change, but they all got easier. So, I don't think that requires a leaderboard reset because you should be able to go faster. So I don't think that would matter.
Someone can't join. I don't know how to read something Poppy. Can't join on Discord. I'm not sure why. What's going on there? I'd like to remedy that for you, but I'm not really sure why.
Should be discord.gg/cranked should be our URL.
If you struggle with it, just email me. You can hit me at brian@sessionsyndicate.com and I'll help you out with it if you need me to. So just, if you can't get it working, just hit me up there and I'll make sure that you do. It was on Unity Creative Dimensional. Designed on Unity. We made Mad Skills Motocross before this game. We were part of the OG crew at Mad Skills Motocross and Turborilla and Mad Skills BMX and those games. We developed, all those for the last decade basically on Unity, and Zach, who is the main programmer of this game, is well versed in Unity. He knew what he wanted to do to make this game feel right. We're glad that he did because we were able to get it into really good shape early. So yeah, it's developed in Unity. Will Bloom, it's definitely not a Descenders dupe. If you play, we'll have a free demo soon enough, and you'll be able to play it, and you'll see it's a very different experience from any other mountain game on the market. It just has placeholder graphics right now, which makes it a little, when you first see it, can make it a little bit confusing, but it's definitely not like Descenders or any other game, other than being a mountain bike game. Ethan, a price in mind? I mean, we've said maybe somewhere around $30 before, but that's pretty far out, and we don't know for sure.
Man, who knows with the economy these days and everything? Yeah. The game might be out in a year and a half to 2 years. It's hard to name a price that far in advance.
Yeah. Smiley says reminds him of a game in 2012 called Mountain Bike Free Ride, which we've heard that one before, Joe. I do believe. Goose Fraba says thoughts on the resetting with every build. I think if we don't have any reason to feel like a new build is affecting the leaderboards, we don't necessarily need a reset. I think we'll probably usually just see what the community thinks and reset when the community thinks we need to, for the most part. Or if Joe feels like we need to, we will.
How much
Split
speed?
Ghost. Probably not Split Ghost, Scruffy. I think Joe rightfully feels like it takes the anticipation away that you see when you're actually watching a race and you don't know for sure how you're doing on your split. You're waiting to see where you are when you get to it. I think that's fun in this game too. So I think we'll probably stick with that in actual racing, but maybe Ghosts if you're just practicing, right, Joe? Is that what you were thinking potentially?
Yeah, I think you could have a Ghost for a practice run and to see the lines and such, but I think on a race run you wouldn't just, I like the suspense of, there's no suspense when you have a Ghost. You always know if you're ahead or behind. It's not as interesting to me. So race runs won't have Ghosts.
Do we have an art team? We have an art person. We are a very small development creative dimension. There are 4 people who are working full time on the project. Joe's not even technically full time. He still works partially on the Mad Skills project.
The amount of hours I put on this thing is like 2 full-time employees probably.
Yeah,
so I'm definitely full time.
Yeah, you are full time. I just mean you have other responsibilities too. It's not like this is the only thing you can focus on. You have to do some other things too. But it's a very small team, self-funded true indie thing. I volunteer my time here as one of the founders of the company, but I'm not on payroll. Anything I do is just for the good of the project. So we have one artist and one developer and one game designer and one track builder. That's what we're making this with. And we're going to keep it. We're being careful, We're trying to do something where we make smart decisions and we don't bite off more than we can chew, and we do things in the right order. That type of thing. So hopefully we can keep it going with this many. Hopefully eventually we can bring some more people onto the team, but we're not there yet. Leighton, I'm glad you like the whips. They are I would say crazy good. And how long did it take us, Dylan? We've been doing this for about 5 months now. So 5 months ago, I would say nothing existed in Cranked. We called it Mad Skills Mountain Bike in the very early days when it was still a prototype, when we were still building the initial prototype, but ultimately we decided to break it off into a new company, and a few of us invested in this new company and we called it Cranked. But about 5 months. And you can get the game now, Archie, on our Patreon. If you go to our Patreon, patreon.com/crankedgame, I think it is, you can support us on Patreon and get the build that way and play it right now. Exact same build Joe's playing.
And this map will be what the demo will be. Probably. We've been discussing it, but I think so. This was the prototype map we made. We made this in about 2 months. We made this prototype, and this has, as you can see, 3 trails there, and there's a 4th trail here. This 4th trail just starts different from the 1 trail, but then the later part of it's the same. It kind of merges into this trail. But I think what we're going to do is kind of tidy some things up, get the new bike in here, fix up some other stuff, and then we'll release this whole thing with 4 trails as the free demo. It won't include the other section. So the open world map is the one that we're actively working on, and actively, this will be the one that goes in the final version of the game. So if you get the free demo, you won't have any access to this. You have to join the Patreon and get this that way. But this is the one that we're working on. Antgrass keeps adding new trails every month. Our goal is 3 trails a month or so. So yeah, that's the plan for the free demo.
Thank you for the follow, Lucas. Much appreciated. And Colby, thank you very much. Seabath, welcome. And Papa, welcome to you guys for hopping in. Do we make our own? Yeah. Did you? What question did you just answer, Joe?
I don't think I did. I think I was just talking.
Lucas says, did you make your own custom physics, or did you use Unity's physics like Wheel Collider?
No, we're actually not using a Wheel Collider at all. That stuff's custom. We're doing other fancy things. I wish Zach was here to talk to you about the details of it. Zach's the programmer, but no, we're not just like using straight up Unity physics. I mean, I think it's probably has Unity physics in it, but it's been customized.
Luca, you could, if you join us on our Discord, Zach's there and we'll answer any questions you have about the physics. We're very open about everything we're doing. Also, Zach is on this stream every now and then. He's been on 2 of them so far, and we'll have him on again sometime soon. So look out for Zach when he's on. That's the best time to ask physics and just development-related questions.
The way Zach has described it on other streams, though, I think he said like we're not like ray casting wheels or anything, and the bike is actually kind of working as a hover bike. So that's the way he's described it, but that's as much as I'll go into detail because I don't want to say things that are incorrect because I don't know.
Yeah. Right on. Keegan, thanks for the follow. Kevin, thank you for the follow. If I missed anybody else who followed us and didn't thank you, I would tell you right now I appreciate it. My comments are moving quickly, so I know I'm missing some things here. Luckish says, I like the way of promo, simply talking to whoever wants to listen. Yeah, that is kind of what it's about, to be honest. Like we decided that coming into this thing, like let's just like make it all out in the open, do it all in public, tell anybody anything about what we're doing, not hold secrets, be willing to stand by everything we do and talk about it. That's kind of what our approach is. So I'm glad that you noticed that and appreciate it. Custom wheels, I'm Smiley. Joe answered that question earlier for different types of tractions. You want to touch on that one more time?
Yeah, what different wheel sizes? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, he mentioned custom wheels, but then mentioned traction. So then I think I don't know if he's talking tires or wheels or what, but I'll let you kind of answer that.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what our plan is. I mean, I don't know if we'll have custom different tires and things. Probably not. I like when everyone's on a level playing field and kind of on the same bike. We'll have different bike classes, but yeah, I don't know.
Thanks for the rose, Theo. Appreciate it. The game is called Cranked. Thank you for the heart. The heart me. Appreciate that. Number 6 fan, the fan club. Thank you. It's one of those weird scenarios on TikTok where I can't see what the user is called. I don't know. It's just like a blank name. Nick, have we made other games before? Yeah, we made mobile games called Mad Skills Motocross, Mad Skills BMX, Mad Skills Snowcross, Mad Skills Rallycross. So if you know any of the Mad Skills mobile games, Joe and I are on the ownership team of that company and have been involved in it for, I think it's been 15 years. The first time I got involved in Mad Skills Motocross all those years ago. So yeah, we've made games, but we were always making mobile games. This is the first time we have worked on, Joe's worked on another PC prototype before, but this is the first time we've been this far along on a PC game.
Finn the 15 asked if there will be other cameras though than first person. Yeah, we'll add third person once we get a better bike and rider model. These are placeholders. We're working on a new one. Here it is. It's a work in progress, but it's the Frameworks downhill bike. If you know Asa Vermette, he rides for Frameworks.
Nice. H is the OG Mad Skills player here. What's up, H? Thanks for hanging out with us, dude. This game is very Mad Skills-like. If you haven't played it yet, it's got that whole restart, perfect your line thing. You know, we had that drilled into us in our Mad Skills days forever, and I think that's just in our blood. So, yeah, this game feels very Mad Skills-like in a lot of ways. Couple people asking about Descenders, and no hate, man. I get it. It's okay. It's a fair question. It doesn't play anything like it. And if you know, sometimes people feel like it looks like Descenders. I've not heard that from anybody who's actually played it. The physics are completely different. The point of the game will be very different. It just is not. Eventually, we'll have a free demo, and we'll answer this by saying, "Well, go play it, see what you think, and if you like it, cool, hang out with us. If you don't, fortunately, there's other games that people can play and have fun with. So no worries." Milo wants to know how whips look, Joe. So if you want,
there you go. I'll throw some whips up here. They're still work in progress.
You've got the framework spike up still, brother.
Oh shit! Thanks, dude. Yeah, here you go. Whips and scrubs. I'll do a little bit here for you. Ooh, almost cased that one. Nope, that one was wonky. Oh, I think we have a bug. I think my back tire is like stuck in the ground or something.
What do you need to do?
Just reset. There we go. Scrubs and whips. Cameras and some animation work and stuff still work in progress, but it's all free physics with the 2 sticks. You're in full control of the rider. There's no canned animations. You know, so you can kind of just do whatever you want. Throw the bike around, whip it around, flip it, spin it, spins.
Just a shout out. Oh, good, Joe. Sorry.
Keep going. You can go ahead.
I was going to shout out to the people on TikTok who've been hanging out with us for a while. I have a hard time. Lightest Poppy, I can't quite tell what your username is because of the fancy fonts. But thank you for being the #1 viewer on TikTok. And Finn the 15, saw your comment there. Thank you for hanging out with us. Ollie, Frank, Leo on Orange. I just asked a question a minute ago. Different parts, no, Leo. We probably will not tune the bike and make it to where you can add parts and tune it. We want to keep it to where it's a level playing field, and you don't feel like you're losing or not setting good times because you don't know how to set your bike up. You certainly will not have to like pay money on microtransactions and stuff to change your bike and that sort of thing. So we could have a few different styles of bikes that have different purposes and ride differently, but anybody on those anybody on the downhill bike is going to have the exact same performance as anybody else on a downhill bike. If you guys are Mad Skills people, you know. You want to, most of the people at the top of the leaderboards are all rocking the same bike in that game because that's when there's a level playing field. And it means that, it's all skill. You don't have to worry about whether you're just not good at setting up your bike. Jonathan, I'm trying to figure out, I know this is very early build, but it is looking so smooth. Thanks. It is smooth. It's crazy. The first time I played the prototype, tell the story about how the prototype came about for anybody who's new here, Joe, in case they want to hear how this game started about 5 months ago or so is when we did it. Tell us how it went down.
Yeah, I guess we were at we were working at Turbrilla, and we were going to kind of green light some, or at least try some new prototype builds. And this was one of the ideas we had. and we had 6 weeks. We put 2 programmers on it for 6 weeks, and that was the budget. And we had to find the fund within those 6 weeks, and if we didn't, then we would cancel the project and move on to the next prototype. And luckily, within about 3 weeks, actually, it was already crazy fun. So then we started kind of tidying it up and put together that whole prototype that you guys that we released to you initially on Patreon. And then we went and pitched it to a bunch of publishers. We went to some game conventions, pitched it to as many publishers as we could. Tried to get them to help us fund the project, and unfortunately, all of them said no. But this game was so much fun and so addicting, and honestly, it was too good in such an early state to just like can it because we couldn't find a publisher. So we decided to fund a new, start a new company called Session Syndicate, and then 4 of us together, the 4 founders, put in a bunch of our own money to make this thing happen, and then we're doing that in conjunction with the Patreon to help us get more money for development, because games these days cost a ton of money to make. Even with only 4 full-time employees on this game, it's probably going to cost us $500,000 to $1 million just to get to like the first initial release of this game. So that's kind of the story of everything went. And the prototype was super fun, and thought, let's make this thing a full-fledged game. It's a game I've been dreaming about for years. So
been talking to me about this game for years. I've known you wanted to make this game for a very long time.
And normally the way we've made games in the past is we make it behind closed doors. Mad Skills Motocross 3, I think probably took us like 3 years to make or something, and I don't think people knew about it. Maybe we mentioned it was in the works, but other than that, we're kind of working on it behind closed doors, and then you announce it and say it comes out in a month, and then you have a big marketing push, and that's the way we've done all of our games in the past. And this game we're doing differently. We thought, let's just develop it in the open. Let's get people on board early. Let's get community's input early, especially because the first thing we're working on is physics. That's all that really matters right now. We don't really care how the game looks, because if the game doesn't feel good, you can make it look as pretty as you want. If the game doesn't feel and play well, it doesn't matter what it looks like. So, the game looks janky right now because all we're working on is the feel. Once the feeling and the physics are all dialed in, then we'll move on to the looks. But yeah, we're developing this thing in the open together with you guys because we think the game will be better that way. So if you want to get involved, you can head over to Patreon. You can join Patreon for free, and you get a lot of good stuff for free, like developer blogs and access to all these YouTube live streams, a bunch of weekly updates and all kinds of good stuff. But if you do spend the $5 or more, you can get access to all the builds we release. We released a new build today, actually, and we release builds most weeks, sometimes every other week. But yeah, if you guys want to get involved and see what it's like to develop a game together with us, join. I know that's not for everyone. Some people just want to wait till the finished product, and if so, that's cool too. The Steam page is up, so you can go to Steam and just search for Cranked. You can wishlist it. So if you're in the camp of you want to wait for the finished product, get that wishlisted, and then when it comes out, you'll get notified. But either way, happy to have you guys on board, and thanks for all the help so far, especially the regulars like Tails, Aaron. Who else is here? McKay.
Scruffy Roosevelt's been hanging out with us every week. Adam Morgan's back.
Jill Clinton.
Jill Clinton's chilling. Harpy's around. I mean, Tails, of course. Captain Jax is here. So Lars came in, hung out with us. Connor Lane's back again. So yeah, on the YouTube side, it's like the same crew most of the time. Hey, Lightus, thank you for. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but thanks for the sharing the live on TikTok. Much appreciated. And you're asking if there'll be real bikes in the game. We showed it a minute ago. It's the Frameworks bike. That's going to be the first real bike that we put into the game next week. We think it'll be in. So there's the first one, the Frameworks bike, super core brand. Joe talked about that a little bit earlier in the stream, so I won't rehash that now. But we're really pumped to be working with those guys. We like working with others. We announced earlier that we are doing a collab with the band Space Mesa, with Cam McCall and Dusty Weigel and those action sports legends. Make up this band, and we're trying to do cool collabs like that where we just find other people who do something they're super passionate about and is related to mountain biking, and we find cool, fun things to do with them. So yeah, I think you'll see a lot of that. We've done real brands and Mad Skills games for years, and I think we'll do that in this game too. We just need to find brands that want to work with us. So far, anybody we've talked to has been stoked about it, so hopefully that keeps up.
Yeah, and the other way, if you guys are wondering how you can help and make this game better, one of the best ways is just to talk about it. Tell your friends, share it, share our social pages. Like, that's a free thing to do. Just get the word out there. The more people that know about us, the better, the bigger and better we can make this game.
Sharing these lives is helpful. Like anytime I see somebody on TikTok who shares a live, I'm always just like, yes, thank you. That helps us get the word out there. So much appreciated to y'all.
You know, it's a interesting opportunity, I think, if you guys are into game development to be part of the, you know, you're basically going to be part of the team if you join the Patreon and help us out. It's not very different from kind of how I got started in game development. I mean, but you know, I went to school for nursing. Like I was a registered nurse. I have my license has expired now, but I got into all this game development stuff because I became a tester for Mad Skills, and slowly over time kind of worked my way up from tester to level designer to game designer to game director to now here we are being co-founder of my own studio and making a new game. So you know, get involved and you never know what might happen in the end. I mean, look at Antgrass now. He was just a modder in Descenders, and now we've hired him to be level designer for us. So you know, if your dream's to make video games one day, I think getting involved here is probably a good idea.
It's a really good way.
Things.
It's insane. It's insane how much game design we talk completely in the open on Discord. I mean, if you are interested in making video games, I really think whether you know, support us on Patreon or get the game or whatever, even if you wait until the free build is out, the free demo is out, just hanging on that Discord is a great way to learn about the way we make games anyway. I mean, lots of people do it differently, but it's a really, really good opportunity, I think, for a burgeoning game designer, so to speak. Makai, don't know if it was ever mentioned before, he says, but what was the decision to develop this outside of the Turborilla name? Just because it's not a mobile game? Just curious. We started it in the Turborilla name. The thing that made this not work that way is that we could not get a publisher. And at the situation that Turborilla is in right now, just where they are in their development cycle and what all they have happening and with their staffing and everything, they're not looking to start any new projects on their own right now. They've got, they're working on the games that they've got, and they have other business in the works right now that they're focusing on. Starting a new PC game was not a part of their current plan. So that was it, basically. Once we didn't get funding, if we had gotten funding from a developer before, from a publisher before, this game might be a Turborilla game and it might be Mad Skills Mountain Bike. But that didn't happen, and so we didn't want it to die. We believed in it too much, so we basically emptied our bank accounts and we're building this thing on our own, and we're going to see how it goes. Good question, though. Fair question. We're still you know, we're obviously Joe and I are on the ownership team of Turborilla. We still work with those guys and friends with everybody there. Joe still does some work for them on a day-to-day basis, and we'll always be aligned with Mad Skills. Very proud of the Mad Skills name and the Mad Skills games. Do we have law people? Viga says, like legal people. No, we don't. Why? You're not going to sue us for anything, are you?
Not on the team, but obviously we have lawyers that we like. You know, we can pay to have us do lawyer work if we need it.
Yeah. No, we do. We have somebody. We had to set up a company and so forth. That's more of a Tobias thing. I don't know too much about it, but yeah, we have access to legal. But also, don't sue us.
Taking the safe route through here this time.
Some people asking about final cost. We don't know about final cost yet. We're really early in this process. We won't really know what we're going to do there until later, so we're not sure.
Sorry I'm not giving you guys super fast times today. I do think this build's a little slower, which is making it a little harder for me.
Oliver, thank you, man. I'm glad that you love the game. Glad that you're playing with us, and hopefully you will let us know what you think. If you see anything you think can be better or anything that you think we should focus on, we would like to know what you think. So thank you.
Itchy nose. All right, I'm going to throw up the Frameworks bike. And this is the bike that's in progress, but mostly because I want to read some comments.
Cool.
Yeah. I feel like I miss a lot of comments during these streams, and it bums me out. But I know it's also like you guys probably want me to be playing, right? Lucas, two questions. Will it be on console, and will there be a beta or anything like that? Yeah, we hope to do it on console. Once we hit beta phase, it'll come out on Steam Early Access. Right now we're like pre-alpha phase, but if you want to get into super early pre-alpha phase type builds, you could join the Discord if you have a PC, a Mac, or Linux, or like a Steam Deck or something. not the Discord, the Patreon, and $5 you can get a build. The early builds, we release new builds often. We're gonna add dirt bikes? Probably not. It's a bicycle game. Maybe an e-bike. I think an e-bike could be interesting. But I don't think we'll add dirt bikes.
Scruffy on YouTube says he'd like to learn how to make trails for the game. Where should he start? Of course, Discord, but what else? I mean, is Antgrass just the person to talk to about that, do you think, Joe?
Yeah, Antgrass, I know he wants to stream, and I think once modding is released, he said he's going to release a bunch of tutorial videos and stuff on YouTube. So follow the Crank channel on YouTube, and I would assume he's going to probably post them under the Crank channel. But yeah, get on Discord and talk to Antgrass if you want. He could help you out.
I hope he does that. You know how like in the vampire movies, there's like a main vampire that then ends up converting a bunch of other vampires, and they all kind of wreak havoc all over the landscape, but they're all connected to like that sire or whatever they were called. You know what I'm talking about? I vision Antgrass being kind of like that, but for track building. Like all of a sudden through Antgrass's tutelage and track design skills, he teaches others, and all of a sudden he's got a bunch of vampires building awesome tracks in the game for him. That's what I want to see anyway.
Brian just called you guys all vampires. So.
Nothing but a compliment, man.
I wish, dude. I wish Laura, Jake, and I could be vampires so we could live on forever.
When will it come out? I mean, it's out right now. What you're watching on the screen right now is out now. So you just support us on Patreon. You can literally play the same build Joe's playing right now. We don't know when the final version of the game is coming out. We're not really working like that. We're not guessing and pretending like we could actually accurately say the situation's gonna look like in a year. I don't really think that's possible, and we're trying to like have absolutely zero bullshit in anything we do. So announcing like a release date would kind of be, who knows? We're not sure.
The real question is, will it be before or after Grand Theft Auto 6?
Oh yeah,
it's the real question. Probably after.
There will be a lot more maps. Well, you want to answer that question, Joe? Ultimately, there will be, but go ahead and answer that question, Joe.
I thought I could split the trees. For maps, will there be more maps? Yeah, let's talk about the map.
Yeah,
so this is the open world map. This is the one that's a work in progress. This is the one that if you join the Patreon, you'll get updates to, and we add new trails to this map all the time. So when the game initially releases, there will only be like 1 or 2 maps, but this map is massive. I think Zach said it's like 6 by 6 kilometers or something. It's bigger than 5 by 5. And there will probably be 40-ish trails. That's our goal. Hopefully more. I'm trying to get to a vantage point where you can kind of see most of the map. So that's what we're working on, is this big map. It's going to be kind of forest vibes. And then we'll add new maps in the future and release those to you guys. Like, so you could see here, this map is huge. It's kind of like a bowl shaped, like with a lake on the one side. So, you can see trails out in that distance. There's trails way out in that distance. There'll be trails all over this whole thing. It's basically gonna be like a virtual bike park. Lifts, trails, bike shop, coffee shop probably, thanks to Aaron's idea. Bunch of cool stuff. And then we'll release different themed different themed bike parks like this. Let's just do a crazy downhill run. So maybe we'll do a desert version. Maybe we do like a urban version. Who knows? Like, we just keep adding more. The bigger the game gets, the more we can add. Do you think from a non-biased view you could be better than Descenders? From a non-biased view, we're not really trying to like compare ourselves better or worse than any of the game. I think all the bike games are kind of have different goals in mind. So I think Descenders is probably the better game if you want to do freestyle and do a bunch of crazy tricks and stuff like that. If you want to get some hardcore racing down, I think Cranked will be the better game. So I think it just depends on what you're looking for, and I think the different games will be better for different types of players. That's what I think.
Yeah, which is to say there is no subjective better, right? Like, it kind of comes down to what anybody's looking for. So ultimately, you guys are the ones that will decide if we're better or not in your mind, We're making it, to us, we're making the game we want. So of course we're going to like playing our game. We're making it the way we want it to be. But you guys need to decide if it's better.
If I didn't think I could make a better game to my tastes than all the other mountain bike games, I wouldn't have put all my savings into this game.
Same. So, and if I didn't think we could make a better game, a game that we think that we are going to like better, I wouldn't have done that either, for sure. So hopefully you think so. Let's put it that way. Lightus, it's not only the two of us developing the game. There's There was a programmer named Zach. He's a huge part of this game. There was an artist named Maggie. There was a track builder named Antgrass, very important. There was a programmer named Elias who was a part of this. There was an artist named
Nils,
who helped us with some of the art early. So a handful of people have had, and then there's everybody who hangs out with us on Patreon and Discord, who are constantly playing and telling us what they like and they don't like. It's a group effort, very much so.
Man, I'm slow on this today, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, LFC. There are already in IRLs. Well, not sponsors like that. Like you can get in Mavericks, where there's like a sponsorship track and you're trying to build those up. We won't do anything like that, but we'll have brands in the game, real world brands in the game for sure. We already do. Well, they're already in the works, I should say.
I feel like this trail, I keep going back to this one. You guys on YouTube over there that are, watch for long periods of time, if you want me to do something specific, let me know. But I keep doing this trail because I know people on TikTok don't watch for very long. And I feel like this one is more interesting in short bursts. So that's that. I see a lot more comments about other video games and Descenders. We've answered this like a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But it just feels different. We'll hopefully have a free demo here in a month or two. Yeah. And then you guys will be able to try yourselves and make your own opinions.
Yeah. Hey Delta, what's up? Adrian, it's cranked. Just like in the username up there. It's if you tap that, you'll find our profile there. We stream every week, everybody, in case you're interested in hanging out again.
That should have been a crash. That's one thing we're working on right now, guys, is the new crash detection stuff. So if you see instances in here where you're like, oh, you should have crashed, but you didn't, we know. We're working on it. That's like what Zach's working on right now. So what he did today was like working on stuff like that. So now if you land sideways, you crash before you wouldn't. So slowly but surely we're tweaking it.
Joe, I got a question for you, man.
Yeah.
So we've made mobile games before. This is the first time we've worked together on a PC game like this, making a mountain bike game. If you were going to make, let's just dream that this game works, goes well, we stay in business, we find ourselves in a scenario where we want to make another game.
Yeah.
What are the sports that you've dreamt about? Some of these I know you and I have talked about, so I'm probably asking more for the benefit of everybody else. But what are the sports that you think you would be qualified to make a good game? And what are the sports you would most want to? I'm guessing those are one and the same. What do you think?
It's tough because it also is based on like what's out there.
Yeah. So let's forget that. Let's not think about what you might realistically do because the landscape is ripe for it or whatever. Let's talk about ideal world. What game, what other sport would you love to make a game based around? That's my question.
I mean, I think skateboarding is probably one of the coolest action sports of all time. So I think a skateboarding game would be sick. The action sport I'm probably most talented at is snowboarding. So snowboarding would be fun. I was a skydiver for a while, and I don't think there's any good skydiving game. And I do think skydiving has like depth to it. It's a very skill-based sport. I had 87 jumps before I quit and sold all my gear. But even with that many jumps, a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, 87 skydives. If you would go to your local skydiving center and just like try to get a jump with someone, and the first thing they're going to ask, how many jumps do you have? And I'd say 87. They'd be like, okay, come back when you have a couple hundred. Like, so I think there's a lot of skill depth in real life in skydiving that I think you could put into a video game that could be interesting. And like wingsuits and all that stuff, I think that'd be cool. Surfing, Brian and I have talked a lot about surfing games. We've never felt like there's been an amazing surfing game. What else? Am I missing any other ones?
Neither of us ever surfed though, so that's a little bit of a...
I've surfed, but I've never been, I was never like I never lived anywhere else doing it day to day or anything.
Yeah, right.
Rock climbing, Aaron, I love rock climbing, but I don't know. I just don't, there's a few rock climbing games out there and I've played a few of them and they're okay, but I just don't know if rock climbing is like a good video game sport. I think maybe the more competition dynamic type climbing that's almost like a breaking into parkour in some instances could be interesting because it's quicker, fast-paced, kind of physics-based stuff. But typical climbing, I think, is so technical and nuanced. I think it'd be hard to make it into a video game.
Yeah, I agree, Will. Whitewater game would be fun. I actually designed a basic mobile whitewater kayaking game years ago called Currents. It was just a concept. I always thought it was a fun idea. We didn't do anything with it, but I thought it was cool. This was years ago. Prez, I think I answered you before, but you may have gotten away. What you should do after game design, after you finish your game design degree in college. I don't know, but I do think if you hang out on the Discord over there, you're going to meet other really capable game designers. You'll start to network. You'll start to get an idea what game design is really like in real life, and combine that with what you learn in school, and you'll be in a better position for it. So that's my suggestion: is hang out on our Discord with us. And
yeah, like I said earlier, the way I got into it was just beta testing for Turbrilla. I took it very seriously. I gave them very detailed feedback. It was all unpaid. And then they opened up a level designer, and I started designing levels, and I took that very seriously. They started paying me to make levels for them. And, once you get your foot in the door at a company, you start giving game ideas and start studying game design. And one thing leads to the next is, as long as the stuff you're working on is good quality, doors will open for you. So get your foot in the door somewhere at some game company, take it seriously. And I think you'll be off to the races.
Hey, Blend, on TikTok, I play this on Mac right now. I play it on my MacBook Pro. Now, I do have my gaming PC, finally got my mouse for it today. So to answer Tails' question from earlier, I'll have my PC kicking, probably tomorrow, I would say at this point. But you can play this on Mac already. It's super fun on Mac, actually. Runs really well.
The other action sports game that is one that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and actually at one point we had a very early prototype in collaboration with Adam Hunt, the guy who makes all the Pump BMX games, and he's working on Street Dog BMX, would be a freestyle motocross game. I don't think there's really ever been a game that was like fully focused on freestyle motocross. I mean, there's some games that have tricks in it and stuff, but I think that could be interesting. Almost like you're like recreating what's that dude who's got the crazy backyard with all those, like, it's basically like you're riding trails like this, but they're times 10 the size, and it's for dirt bikes. Hodge, no, not Hodge. Axel Hodge.
Yeah, Axel. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that'd be sick.
But Dusty Weigel, our guy Dusty Weigel, will be down with that freestyle game too. Maybe that guy does freestyle on a rocking horse and things like that as much as he does dirt bikes.
It's
but
crazy.
I think he can ride anything on this planet, Dusty Weigel, from what I can tell. And plus, he's an awesome musician. So I don't understand how those guys got all that talent, but they swung it. 420 Joey says, y'all should do a scooter game. There's only like 2 ones. Don't we know somebody that we've been following on TikTok who's doing a scooter game, Joe?
Yeah, there's 2 scooter games. There's the one by BMX Streets. What was that one called? It's like Scoot X, or I don't know. And then there's Scoot. I forget. There's 2 scooter games though, but I don't think I'd do a scooter game because I don't scooter, and I don't feel like I want to make a game of a sport that I've never really participated in. I guess I haven't participated in freestyle motocross, but I feel like I know enough about it to where I could handle it. I don't know much about scooters. I had a Razor as a kid. That was about it. Bashed my shins a few times on it, and that was the end of that.
Right on. Yeah, Travis Pastrana also has a heck of a backyard.
Oh, yeah.
To say the least. That's for sure. Actually, Dusty, the guy in Space Mesa, who's a part of our Cranked Collabs next... number 2, which we're going to unveil next week. He's a part of the Nitro crew, rides with Travis a lot. You can find lots of video of Dusty and Travis together on YouTube if you're interested in checking out the crazy stuff those guys do. It will be multiplayer. That's been a pillar of this game, is that you can ride with friends in this game. Joe wants this to feel as much like not a simulation, but to feel as much like it feels like riding in real life as you can in this game. And when you ride in real life, you ride with your friends. So that's got to be a part of the game.
And the other thing, we could just talk about kind of the philosophy of the game for those of you who are new here, but this is, if we had to categorize it, I guess we'd call it a simcade, but we're not trying to go for hyper realistic. You can see here, sometimes you cruise through rock gardens crazy fast, do stuff like that. We get that that's, unrealistic to an extent, but also we're trying to make people feel like a badass pro in this game. I mean, you go watch Goldstone's run from from World Champs. You watch that and you're like, how is this even possible? So while some stuff is realistic, I have a feeling if we recreated these trails in real life, some of the top pros would be doing some insane gaps. But
yeah, Mackay. Sorry, go ahead, Joe. Just sending Mackay out a little under the radar. Yeah, you might be onto something there, brother.
What's with Mackay? I don't know what you were
he said
talking
we
about.
should get the Space Mesa guys on the stream. I was like, yeah, maybe you should. Yeah, hang tight.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, it's about the feeling.
Oliver.
It's about the feeling of the game, like the emotions that it gives you when you play, the excitement, the flow, you know, the nervousness you get when you see you're on a good run and you've got a couple splits left and you don't want to mess it up. Like all those feelings are what we're going for and what makes this game fun, I think.
Oliver Gerhardt wants to know how your camera is following your face. The reason is because Joe and Mackay, our player Mackay, who may be the same people, have all things that work really well, high quality. Everything Joe owns is something of a high quality. That's what he's into. He's always been that way. So whatever camera he has, he's got it on some setting that allows it to do fancy things that my camera doesn't do.
Yeah, so I'm using a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It's a lot of the vloggers and stuff use. It's a little thing by DJI, and you can carry it around, but you can plug it in and use it as a webcam, which is super cool. But it has the face tracking thing. So yeah, I can just move around and it just keeps me centered in the frame. But it's way better quality than a typical webcam. This is like, I don't know. It's only on 1080, 30 frames right now, but the quality is so much. I have a different webcam up there and it looks like poo-poo compared to it.
Shane Aston says the game looks awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. After the game is finished, will you guys add updates to this game, Joe?
Absolutely.
After the game is finished?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously depends on how success. You know, this game's super successful, we're gonna keep working on it. You know, and as long as people are playing it and we have enough money to stay in business, we'll keep updating this game. We have like crazy ideas. We're trying to release like the first version of it, but then there's so many other ideas. Like I come from the Midwest where I did a lot of cross-country racing, and I think an idea like a mode of cross-country racing mode where you're lined up with a bunch of people and it's about managing your energy, shifting gears, when do you like drink and eat and get bottle exchanges and all that kind of stuff. And I think that mode could be interesting, but that'd be something that would come way past 1.0. That'd probably be like a 2.0 type thing, stuff like that. So Carmen's asking, is the game playable? Brian, you want to take that one away?
Yeah, the game is playable now, Cameron. You can, if you join our Patreon, this is a good time to kind of reiterate this. We usually try to drop this a few times each stream. This game is self-funded. There are 4 of us current founders. We are opening up our founding round to the people who are working on the team as well, like Zach and all of them. We want them to be able to get in at the exact same valuation that all of us are getting in case they want to have ownership in this too. But we will be the founders of it, and we are, it's a very small self-funded effort. So we made the decision, because we think it's the only way we could pull it off, to also run the thing on Patreon and to just commit to developing a really good game that delivers value to people along the way, to developing it in public, and to seeing if we can kind of help extend our runway so we can keep this thing going until we get it released via Patreon. So if you subscribe to our Patreon now for as little as $5 a month, you will get every build that we release. You'll get one immediately, whatever the most recent build is. Then all the other ones that we release over the course of the month, you get to keep them forever, even if you don't subscribe again after that first month. If you do continue to subscribe, your pledge accumulates, and if you get to $50, you get a Steam key when the game is released. That's our take. If you're with us the whole time playing it, supporting us on Patreon, get to 50, then you not only will you have gotten all of the builds throughout, but you'll also get the final build. That's how it works. Thanks for the follow, everybody. Wyatt and No Name and Cameron, appreciate you guys very much. Sam says, insanely fun. Just bought access on Patreon and having a blast. Good.
Thank you, dude. Really appreciate that.
Saw somebody earlier said they played. That's the thing about this game, is it's fun immediately. It's so hard to do that, guys. We've been making games for a long time. It's so difficult to do what Zach and Elias did here and make this thing fun so fast. It's crazy how hard that is. But it's already fun, and you can get into it really fast. It doesn't take long until you realize how deep the skill depth is and how much better the fast guys are than you will be. But it doesn't take long until you feel fast. You don't really realize how not fast you are until you check your scores against the leaderboard. And we did just put this on Steam to wish list recently. You can't get the build on Steam yet. We will do a free demo eventually, and that'll probably be hosted on Steam. But for now, we do have a Steam page, and we are taking wish lists. And by all means, wish list it. Let your buddies know, or your friends, or your family, whoever know that helps us.
Yeah, guys, the Patreon link, if you look at like the screen, you can actually see the Patreon link too. So if you want to play now, just follow that link. I know you can't click it, but or just go to Patreon and type in search for Cranked. It'll be the first one that pops up, and you guys can get in and play that way. And I tell people too, if you download it and you just absolutely hate it, send me a DM on Discord or email or however on Patreon, and I'll refund your $5, guys. It's
Joe said that to a guy on our Discord today, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I don't believe you." I was like, "I've known Joe for 15 years, and he's literally never slung a line of bullshit to me in my entire life ever one time." I thought it was hilarious that somebody didn't know. He was like, "Yeah, I don't believe you." But oh well, what are you gonna do?
The retention rate for people who are like staying on our Patreon month to month is actually crazy high. Like if we compare it to like Mad Skills subscription rates, I think subscription rates in Mad Skills is probably like 10 or 20% of people subscribe more than 1 month. On here, it's like 75% of people or something continue for the next month. Like it's something crazy high. So that tells us that, people are getting it. They're liking it. They're not canceling. It is early though, so we get if you're not, if you don't want to get in early, you want to wait till later. But if you're the kind of person who likes to get involved in development, you feel like you're one of those kind of people who have good ideas and, game design's your thing, or, been a gamer a long time and, want to help us, give us feedback, get involved, man. We are listening. Ask anyone in the community. Like a lot of the things in the game right now are because of the community.
Yeah, Tails. I agree. Tails, to be fair, he kind of gets why the guy didn't believe that. It's very uncommon for devs to do that. Fair enough. I mean, you're right. To me, it's more of a hearing somebody say that to Joe makes me laugh. But for sure, I mean, not everybody's going to buy that. But it's true. If anybody here does support us on Patreon and you're just not into it, just let us know. We'll just refund you, just like that. Fix the legs. All of the art is placeholder jank. Don't pay too much attention to the art at this point. So we're very early in the process, and we will replace all this with good stuff over time. Right now we're focusing mostly on physics, gameplay, trails, that type of stuff.
Suit and those whips are for you. Is it Suit that's always talking about whips? I think so.
Yeah, Oliver, by build, when we talk about a build, anybody, if we ever use the word build, what we mean is when you're in the development phase, you come out with a new update, we usually call that a build. But I would say a build and an update are basically interchangeable words. So yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Good point, actually. I should probably start using the term update instead of build. Maybe that's... build might be more common in game dev and not to the public.
Yeah, that was a good point. I've never really thought about that, but I could see some people might not know what we're talking about. Cameron says, do you know why it's saying you can't join this creator's membership on Patreon? This is happening some, and it's very frustrating for us, Cameron. Is it saying that, like, what is it saying exactly? Do you have any more information than that?
Usually that's because your account's been flagged by Patreon as like fraudulent or whatever, and it's very annoying because we understand that you guys are not trying to be fraudulent. But what you need to do is go to their website, and they have a contact form. And one of the options on the contact form is to contact the trust and safety team. Just send them an email and tell them you're trying to join our Patreon and it's not letting you. And they'll ask you like name, address, like you have to verify some info, and then it'll go through. Super annoying.
It's a bummer. Yeah, I'm tired of it. It's called Cranked. The game is called Cranked. Yeah, Cameron, that'll get sorted for you though. And if you're having issues with it, if it doesn't get sorted quickly, just ping us on Discord and we'll help you out with it one way or the other. We want you to be able to play the game. It frustrates me that we've got people who want to play and can't play it. It's ridiculous.
It takes a few days. So if you really want to get and you don't want to wait a few days, DM me on join our Discord. DM me, and I'll give you a link to download it while you wait. And then once Patreon fixes their nonsense, then then you'll be good to go.
Yeah, suspension movement, leg movement, all that type of stuff. We just haven't touched it all. We will focus on those things when the time comes for it. Right now, we're still focused mostly on the actual gameplay, what's going on under the hood. But we hear you. Yep, we need to deal with that stuff.
Yeah, the focus of the game, just to go off of that, so far has just been the feeling. Like we're not working on visuals yet. You could have a game that looks amazing, but if it doesn't play well, who cares? So we're, priorities of work are make it feel good and play well, then later make everything look nice. So we're in the making it feel good phase, but it's coming to a close, and we're about to enter the make it look good phase.
Yeah. So I will say, I'm just going to kind of mention one more thing about Space Mesa, who is our next Cranked collabs. If you guys are hearing us talk about Cranked collabs, you don't know what it is. If you know what it is, then you know what to do. If you don't know what it is, pay attention to the stream next week. You'll get an opportunity to earn an in-game T-shirt that will not be available after 72 hours ever again, and you'll always have it in the game later down the line. It's just something we're doing for people who are hanging out with us early. I've mentioned that we talked to Cam McCall and Dusty Weigel today, and I'll just go ahead and say this doesn't need to be a surprise. I'll just mention it. We, at the very least, I'm going to have them do a video to have them come on to the stream next week, a video that we can run on the stream of them kind of talking about the collaboration, but maybe we can get them to hop on the actual stream with us next week. We'll talk to them and see what they say. If we can get Cam and or Dusty or both of them on next week, or the other guys on in the band as well on the stream, somehow we'll do that. I'm not sure if it's going to be possible, but we can try.
Zequatch, I don't know how you say your name, dude, but he was asking if there'd be an option for like left or right foot forward. Yeah, for sure, dude. I don't think you could have a mountain bike game made by a real rider and didn't include the option to select left or right foot forward would just be a sin, I think. So we'll have that option.
I just want to kind of give a little bit of a warning that we'll close this stream at the bottom of this hour in about 7 minutes. I'm going to a show tonight. I'm going to go see John Moreland play at 123 Pleasant Street tonight. Super pumped about it. I've been waiting for this show for quite some time. It will be a mellow one. So we're going to end it in 7 minutes. There's one other thing we want to talk about, Joe.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything else, I'll kind of bring up the last thing we wanted to mention today. We saw a video this week by BBK Dragoon. On YouTube. How'd you get that, by the way, Joe? Who sent that to you?
I think it was McKay. He cool, just so, I think he just shouted out his channel, and I went and kind of watched a couple of his recent videos.
So he plays games, he streams. He's got a nice size following. I haven't had the opportunity to watch more than the one video that you showed me, Joe, but he spends his time in this video talking about kind of pining for the days of games where they were made just for just for the fun of it and to make it great, and you weren't trying to satisfy stakeholders and do all that kind of stuff. And also talking about how he can't wait to go outside and get on his mountain bike. So Joe and I but you can imagine that was like Christmas Day for us to see somebody like basically saying those two things in one breath. Like on the one hand, he wants games that are like what we're trying to build, and on the other hand, he loves mountain bikes. So anyway, we thought it was kind of cool. If you guys want to check out BBK Dragoon, he seems to have a pretty cool channel.
Seems like a really genuinely nice, like honest, cool guy.
Yeah, he was vulnerable at the beginning of his last video about some challenges he was going through, and I like when people are honest about how they feel. I think it's a sign of maturity, and I really liked what I saw there. So I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of his stuff.
I want to get this line once during the stream. Dang it, I can't. The thing I liked in that video that he pointed out was, nowadays games are filled with so many things to like get you hooked and addicted, and it's log in every day and battle pass, and it's like he was saying, like it feels like a job to play games now. It's no longer like get in, goof around with your buddies and have fun. It's like, okay, do these 45 challenges and progress your battle pass, and battle pass ends in a week, don't miss out. And it's like too much, too overwhelming, and one thing we've decided with Cranked way before we ever saw that video was like, let's go back to the basics, let's keep it simple. Like one of our philosophies is keep it simple, and let's just make a game that's fun. That's it. Like we don't need to bloat it with a bunch of things and battle passes and all this stuff. Yes, there's going to be some achievements and challenges and things to do, because I think you need to have some goals in a game, but they'll all be optional. If you don't want to go do them, you can just cruise around and enjoy the environment as well. So it's just refreshing to kind of go back and finally be able to design a game. That's the only thing that matters is it fun? That's it.
Yeah, it makes the whole design in public thing a lot easier too, doesn't it? Like if you're trying to design a free-to-play game, I don't think a free-to-play game would be super fun to design in public.
No.
They're just so challenging to make, and you have to do so many things to try to keep them alive that I don't think it'd be very fun to talk about. But when every decision you make is about, does this make this game we're making better? Pretty easy to just talk about everything publicly.
So yeah, looking forward to following him in the future. I'm glad that McKay shouted out his channel, because I really like BBK Dragoon.
Man, McKay's always looking out, always helping us with all kinds of stuff. Let me do a quick run through on TikTok comments here, Joe, while you're playing, since we're getting close to the bottom. I don't want people to feel ignored. Titus or Lightus, customize your bike. The looks of it, for sure. There won't be bike setup probably in this game. We don't want to make it feel like a job, like we were saying before. We want it to just be fun. I got to make the bike easy to move and tweak so things like cash rolls are possible. Brandon wants to know, Joe.
Already possible, dude. Let me...
Already doable.
Let me see. Where can I go?
Hang tight, Brandon. Joe will hook you up. I'm going to move on to the next question, but Joe will share this with you when you get a second. Let's see. Is it released? Somebody wants to know. I mean, it's this prototype is available via our Patreon. Yeah. And if you could check out our bio to get a link to our Patreon and find out more about that. Let's see. Any other questions here? Followed. Thank you, SHXD and L for the follows. Very much appreciate you. Shane Aston. Yes, we will have different bikes. We have the Frameworks bike coming in the next week. We hope. Is the game going to be on Xbox? Football on top wants to know. That's the plan eventually. There's the Frameworks bike. That's what we hope to implement next week. That signals us starting to make the game look like it's going to look. Right now, what you see is not the game looking like it's going to look. This is all placeholder stuff.
Maybe cash roll coming in hot right now. Let's see.
Here you go.
Oh, it's close.
Oof, not
It's
quite.
close.
You almost pulled it off. It'll look a little better when you have a third-person view eventually, I think. But make the character's finger go on the brake. Yeah, Colin, man, all the visuals need changed. It's all just placeholder stuff. We haven't done any of that stuff yet, but we will. We're not going to let that stuff be jank in the final version of this game. Here's the thing. Like if we don't get gameplay right, all the fluff and all the sort of details won't matter. If it's not fun to play, it doesn't make any difference. So what happens a lot of times with certain different kinds of games is if people put too much energy into the details and not enough into the actual core gameplay, and you sink all kinds of money into something, then it's hard to ever figure out how to make it fun because you just never got the core gameplay right. We just weren't willing to do that, so we're focused on the gameplay first.
Let me real quick. I want to interrupt this cash roll situation.
Yep.
It takes skill to do this because look, if you guys don't know, the way spins work is if you stand up when you're spinning, you spin faster. It simulates in real life. Like if you pencil up and spin, you get more. But if you flip and you tuck the bike, you flip faster. So what you have to do with a cash roll is kind of do the 180 standing up, then go into the backflip tucked, and then finish the spin after the backflip standing again. So you're doing a lot of things with the sticks, but it actually makes them very fun. Let's see if I can do it again. Now
Hey,
tuck.
Karen, I didn't see you over there. I'm glad to
Now
see that you're here.
spin.
That's just
Boom.
Joe's mom.
Hey, what's up, Mom? Where you at, Mom? I don't see
She's
you.
over on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Hey, Karen. Hey, Karen. That's weird to call you Karen. I meant to say Mom. But yeah, cash rolls are fun. That honestly, this jump right here, which isn't really meant to be a jump, it's just the tunnel gap. It's actually super fun just to go find this spot and kind of do. Boom. I think that's a cash roll. That's probably the best one I've ever done. And then you can just have fun cruising this hill. Hit this. What did we got?
Oh yeah,
here?
hit that. Oh
Yeah, that felt good.
yeah, that was nice. Well,
Can you
Joe?
install on Linux? Yeah, we did do a Linux build today. The first time we've released the Linux build, and it does work on Steam Deck. I have it on my Steam Deck. You have to do like the side loading kind of situation, but it does work. So Patreon $5, get that thing on your Steam Deck.
Cool. Guys, next week we will drop Crank Collab's t-shirt number 2. The 72-hour window will open up next week. Hopefully I can figure out a way to get the guys from Space Mesa on the stream, or at the very least we'll get a video from those guys. I don't know why I just decided to drop that in the call, but I did. It just came to me, so I did it. We'll see what happens. But otherwise, I hope everybody has a great week. Joe, you anything else before we sign off for the day and I go watch some live music?
No, thanks for tuning in. Hit us up on Patreon if you guys want to get the game and join the community. We're having a blast. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys next Thursday.
One last thing. If we didn't answer your question, it's just because we didn't see it and we get a little spun out over here. If you're not ready to join the Patreon, you have questions, you can find us on Discord, Cranked Game on Discord, and we'll answer any questions anybody asks us there. So thanks for hanging out today.
See if any last minute questions came in. I don't think so. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.